Hello, hello. Thank you for joining us, Curriculum of Wonder this week. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you. Um, if you missed last episode, our folks have arrived on Strixhaven campus, our wonderful students, and they are now diving into classes and exploring campus life, kind of finding out what Strixhaven's all about. We'll be playing through this campaign every other Thursday here on this channel. I am Marco. I'm DMing this game. This is my channel. Pleasure to have you all here.
Which means I am Sarah L. Kinney, or Sarah. I am so excited to be back here with all these people. Tonight, I have the distinct pleasure of playing Vega, the Lucent daughter of Dawn's Cathedral, and she is currently a level 2 human paladin. It's very exciting.
Hi, I'm Francis. I'm playing Fergal, who is a human, technically a ranger. He's second level now too. Yeah, let's get to it.
Hello, I'm Sam. Who am I playing? I'm playing Stella, the Owlin Druid. Yes, I'm still a Druid.
And I'm Andrea. I am playing Helianthus. She is a level 2 druid halfling.
And Siri unfortunately got lost in the Sedgemoor bog between sessions. There are rescue parties out looking for her. It's a certainty that she'll be returned to us before too long, but for this session, Siri will be MIA.
What did she get lost there, or was she harvesting more supplies for something, or is it detention?
All valid questions, and honestly, who knows? It could be any of them. We will certainly find out at some point. But we've got her there in the lower corner. She's here. She's just not, here.
Hopefully we won't have to use her student health insurance.
Oh no.
Okay, well let's jump on into it. So this is our last episode, which concluded with your first exams on campus, which allowed you guys to jump up in level, having gained more experience and knowledge and expertise and all that good stuff. You guys have been now on into your second quarter, taking classes, kind of getting into the swing of things. Strixhaven is a complicated place with a lot going on, but you're now starting to understand your place here and kind of get into your groove. So, kind of a few weeks in, you all hear, one of you probably hears from one of your friends. We'll say Xanther informs Helianthus that one of the second years told him there is a mage duel class being taught after normal class hours. It's being taught by some upper class folk. It's not from faculty. It's not an official course, but it's like a 3-week training in how to participate in mage duels.
Oh. Well, that sounds very exciting.
There is a courtyard in the central campus that they're going to meet at. It's like a couple days away, so you guys can do any sorts of prep you'd like to do in advance of this mage duel class. Is there
Fergal has no idea what to expect, so he doesn't know how to prepare.
Is
What's
that
a
something
duel?
we're
Are we,
allowed
like-
to do to fight the other students?
Finally, right? I'm sorry. We're allowed to do this, right?
Right, so you guys would certainly, you'd have heard about mage duels on campus in your first quarter. You might even have seen some where students square off against each other and fling spells or safeguarded weapons at each other. From what you've seen, it is allowed. It is highly regulated. There are rules to abide by. You're assuming one of them is, you can't kill or permanently injure your opponents. That would make sense. And you generally see like a crowd around with somebody officiating these duels. So it does seem like it's kind of a part of the school culture. That said, the duels themselves are spectacular and look quite dangerous. I mean, you've seen everything from fireballs to cones of cold and explosions of force energy kind of just on campus as if it's just the most normal thing in the world.
Sounds dangerous.
Does.
That's
Exciting.
not a
Happy
good
about it.
thing.
I mean, there's plenty of precautions in place, right? No one's actually going to get really harmed. It'll be fun.
Until it's not.
I mean, I feel like most of the people on this campus could do with a few more bruises, maybe one or two more scars, a bit more life experience. But perhaps that's
Yeah.
just me. I mean, will y'all fight?
I don't intend to pick a fight with anyone, but I suppose it'd be good to know how to defend myself.
I think I would look very good with an additional scar. I would be badass.
Cool.
I mean, no, I agree.
I think I'd rather, the whole give 'em hell Leanthus thing just be for the little not real people fighting. That's I guess. Someone's got to keep you out of trouble anyway.
Sounds like you all are going to head to this class, whether you're planning to participate or just watch. It is certainly going to be a spectacle, and learning more about mage duels is, worth your curiosity, to be certain. So the evening arrives. You guys head off to that same upper courtyard. It is a very clean and pretty courtyard with a prominent statue standing in the middle of it, presumably of some great duelist of eons past. The plaque says Gerard Capuchin. That's not a name that any of you probably recognize. And there already are a cluster of students gathered there awaiting instruction.
Is it mostly first years, or is there a variety of ages?
You see a few gray costumes of your first years, but mostly they are the two-colored costumes of people who have already chosen their course, so second year or above.
Vega, that guy has a sword.
He certainly does. So
You're muted.
Uh-oh.
You know what? I like the whole vibe of this place. If that's anything to take a note of, then that's a good sign. Could be bigger though.
So after a few minutes of waiting, people kind of very excited in the crowd. You do get a lot of looks as first years from people around you. Not like you shouldn't be here, just that they're curious. They're sizing you up, kind of wondering, what first years would come to a mage duel tutorial. It does seem like most people here are more experienced than that person, perhaps. After a few minutes, a fellow walks out of the building nearby. He's wearing the robes of Lorehold. He has a number of medals and other kind of distinctions on his lapel. Looks like a person of some stature. He also has a sword in a sheath. It's a very ornate blade at his side. Gleams in the light. Here he is. He comes out, kind of walks in front of the crowd, and says, "Welcome, fellow students. Today, you begin your training in how to become a fully fledged student of Strixhaven. To defend your honor, the honor of others, to uphold the traditions of Strixhaven, to become martial experts, so that when you go out in the world, you do not bring shame upon us all. I am Egan, Lucent son of Dawn's Cathedral. I am a prominent member of Lorehold College, and it'll be my pleasure to instruct you all in the ways of mage duels today."
Sounds familiar.
I haven't heard that. Oh.
Too familiar.
Vika, do you know him?
I do. It's, you know what? It's probably for the best that all of us just. He's a complete and total ass, and we should just fuck. And Vega has been, like, the moment he walks out, her eyes roll so hard, you think they're gonna get stuck that way.
We should what?
I just, fuck. And for a second, she considers just leaving.
First years, is there something you'd like to share with the rest of us?
No, there's not. Aren't you supposed to be teaching us something?
I will, yes, as soon as you are silent.
What, you let a bit of chatter get you off kilter?
He scowls. Know your place, Vega. This isn't back home. You are a small fry here, and you're disrupting the lesson for all these other wonderful folk.
I suppose it's finally nice you were able to find somewhere where you're not the small fry. Somewhere you can put on a big old show. Feel important?
Looks around and says, "My friends, mage duels are not for show. Though some of us here might think otherwise, mage duels are a very serious affair. A time-honored tradition passed down from our forefathers, the founders themselves, taught us that to resolve our differences via magic in a way that does not cause permanent harm is the way to come to understandings that one simply could not reach otherwise. Words, largely, can resolve most conflict, but sometimes they do not suffice. Observe closely." And he draws from a holster at his side a wand. His wand is extremely ornate. It has kind of these long prongs at the end that spark with magical energy. He says, "Every duelist on Strixhaven campus carries with them a dueling wand. You will each probably start with a very simple one, but as you gain power, you may find more and more powerful dueling wands. Dueling wands suit you better. Know that in order to duel, you must have a dueling wand, unless your opponent is also willing to go without. The rules of mage duels are simple. Whoops. No deadly attacks of any kind. This means no sharp or bladed weapons, no magic that specifically causes death, and no attacking unconscious opponents. There can be no outside help. Only the combatants themselves may affect the outcomes of the duel. Results are also final. Duels are often partaken to affect outcomes. You may duel for the privilege of serving a certain professor. You may duel for a certain a position on campus. Whatever the case, if terms are agreed upon in advance, those terms are final and will be executed in accordance with their original outset terms. There is a student council, the Council of Dueling, that oversees terms and hears appeals, though those appeals are rarely, if ever, acted upon. Terms, again, are final. Something you should know about magic on Strixhaven campus is that all spell damage dealt on campus is considered non-lethal. The enchantments of the school protect all of us from death, such that a fireball is no more deadly than a punch to the face. That said, care is of course of the utmost importance. There is magic out there that causes death. If you don't know which spells do so, I suggest you not participate in mage duels. If you were to use one of those spells, you would be subject to expulsion immediately. Are there any questions about the rules of mage dueling?
How many duels have you won?
He says, "I have won 83 duels in my time at campus. I'm in my third year. Why do you ask?"
How many?
I was just curious, just for context of like how often duels happen. Like, is 83 a lot?
He smiles and says, "I am currently top of the dueling leaderboard. Not that that matters."
Does that
Okay.
mean you had 83 or more arguments with people?
Yes. Look at him.
That couldn't be solved by words.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think you need better words.
Not every duel is meant to solve a conflict. Some are simply a test. And some of us test better than others.
What do those fancy wands do?
He'll gesture, and another student kind of comes out and has like a bucket full of very plain-looking wooden wands. They go around distributing them. He says, "These are your first dueling wands. They are rank 1 dueling wands. They're very simple. They put each duelist on a relatively equal footing at the outset, allowing any participant to cast basic defensive and offensive magic.
Oh.
Hmm.
They are basic, very simple, and single use. You may use its single charge to cast either shield or absorb elements to block an opponent's attack or harmful spell, or you can use it to cast magic missile at an accelerated rate. Once used, the wand is disposed and is no longer useful. Thankfully, these wands are extremely easy to create, and you can likely get them for free whenever you visit the Dueling Council.
Can you use your own spells or only what's in the wand?
Beyond the rules I outlined, anything is fair in a mage duel. Yes, you can use your own magic. In fact, I can't think of another way to duel a mage than to use magic of some kind, yes?
Elia, I need your notes. What did he say? She's gonna try to scribble stuff.
Don't kill him.
Oh, okay.
I mean, but if it happens, don't worry about it.
Oh, you'll get expelled. Don't kill people.
He'll just be raised. He'll be more of an annoyance than
Stop.
anything else.
You are being a bad influence. We're not killing people.
Fine.
If there are no questions about the means and methods for mage dueling, pair up and get started in your first mage duel.
I do have a question. Can you have a team duel, like 4-on-4?
You certainly can, so long as all participants agree to the terms in advance.
Are you allowed to turn into animals during a duel?
He kind of leans over a little bit and says, "Can you turn into animals?"
Maybe?
Did I say it was against the rules?
Does the animal die?
Well,
when
no.
it's dead?
Then you can do it.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to that 4v4.
Egan will kind of walk off to the side, and the other students are kind of with excitement. They're starting to pair up, and you even see some beginning their mage duels, kind of throwing spells back and forth, more testing than anything. You see some very simple fire bolts probably arguing towards their opponents. There are plenty of students you guys could duel. You do see some familiar faces here. Aurora is here. Remember her. Rosie is here as well, because of course she is. She loves this kind of thing. And Xanther is here. Of course he is as well. Who would you guys like to duel? I mean, you don't have to duel these people. You can duel each other. You can duel other students that aren't these people. You can duel with the people on your team. What do you want to do?
Bella's gonna very expectantly watch who Vega chooses to fight.
Vega is looking around, seeing if there's any other student here who also brought an enormous sword, who is not Egan.
For sure. I forgot to mention that Rampart is here. Where the heck is,
Oh,
is
cool.
that person? Oh yeah, Bedham. Bedham Rampart. They do have a ceremonial scimitar at their side. It doesn't look like it's been used.
Vega can spot an unused weapon at 100 paces. She's not interested.
Yeah, except for that, they all just have spell books or training weapons. You see a mallet that's made of wood. You do see I guess a small sword that looks like it's made of metal but is blunted and covered in a cushioning cloth.
I think
Oh, okay. Virgil will sidle up to Aurora and say, "Are you gonna fight anyone?"
Well, I'm hoping so, but I don't want to ask anybody. That's kind of rude, right? What if I asked you if you wanted to fight? That'd be kind of rude, right? You'd think I didn't like you or something.
Well, no, it's just it's like a training exercise. It's nothing personal.
Oh. Okay, well, do you want to fight?
Sure.
Great, let's do it.
All right.
Cool. So she takes a stand maybe 10 paces off from you,
Okay.
raises her dueling wand, and you can roll initiative.
All right. I have all these character portraits up, blocking my screen.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay. I enjoyed them, but now I have to fight. Okay, there we go. 16.
Let me pull out her token so we can roll initiative for her. All right. Looks like she's got you beat. So starting off, Aurora will begin combat by flicking her hand, and a bolt of energy that makes a kind of a blast of music as it streaks through the air lances towards you. Does a 15 hit you?
It does.
Well, then you take 12 points of force damage and are blasted backwards by an explosion of sound.
Oh, okay.
Aurora calls out, "Oh, I'm sorry, are you okay?"
Never better.
Well, your turn. Do your best.
Okay. Well, she's not pulling any punches. So how far back have I been knocked?
Mechanically, not at all. Just like knocked off your
Okay.
feet briefly.
Okay. Then I'll walk up to her and try to impress her with some necromancy. And I will. How do I do this in a not cheeky way? I try to take. If she's got like a wand out, I'm gonna try to like take her wand hand, like in mine, and I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
Oh, that's not bad. 15 to hit.
You grab out towards her. She quickly kind of flicks the wand, and you see a barrier of magical force kind of appear between your hand and hers. And your necrotic energy stops at the barrier, just barely holding it back.
Right.
She looks down at the wand and
Okay.
says, "I guess that's how these things work. I've never done that before." Are you ready?
Do your worst.
All right. She actually brings out her hurdy-gurdy, and starts churning the wheel there. The sound that emanates outwards is grating and awful. You've heard her play quite well before, but this is different. Does a 13 hit?
Does not.
All right, cool. Yeah, you managed to evade the musical blast. You're up next.
Okay. I will. Hold my staff in two hands, concentrate, remembering my ancient fighting skills, and I will, that's as a bonus action, and then I will smack her. Like, on the butt is my goal. And I miss. Well, maybe. Maybe she has to shield again. I got a 13 to
A
hit.
13 hits. Her wand is already broken, and so she will take 5 points of bludgeoning damage from your empowered staff. What was the?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, she leaps forward and says, "Ow, that hurt."
Do you surrender?
Ha, not likely. And she flares back with 15 to hit.
I will do my shield.
All right. Yeah, you managed to deflect the sound blast she emits from her hurdy-gurdy at that point, and you are up next.
Okay. I will. I guess I will smack again. That probably misses. That's a 12.
It actually hits. I mean, she's not armored.
Oh, okay.
With that, she kind of stumbles a little bit, and says, "Wow, this hurts a lot more than I was expecting it to. I thought there was some kind of like a magic that would dull the pain." You know, honestly, I think you win. I'm not sure I'm big on this dueling thing.
Yeah, it's not really for me either. Here. And I will cast Cure Wounds on her for 7 points.
She smiles wide. Thanks. You've never seen her smile from like right up close before. I mean, she's a very beautiful woman, but something you do notice immediately is that her canine teeth are a little bit on the longer side, kind of like the other person you saw. I don't know if that means anything to you, but the point is, she's very grateful. She smiles at you and says, "Thanks. You know, no hard feelings. I really did enjoy dueling you. It's just that, you know, what if I get my face hit or something? It just wouldn't be good for my future."
I never would have.
Shakes your hand. You see her go over to Egan and say, "The wand broke. It's supposed to do that, right?" And he says, "Yes, I did say they would do that." She says, "Oh, okay. Well, thanks anyway. Bye." And she walks out and leaves.
I'll turn in mine too.
I mean, he doesn't. It's like a splintered like stick at this point. He's not.
Yeah.
He's not reaching out for them or anything. Like, he takes it from her because she seemed to expect him to, but like he doesn't reach out for yours. He just kind of, I guess, puts the crumpled splinters in his pocket or something.
Okay.
Virgo, congrats. How does it feel to be victorious?
Oh, fine, I guess. I don't know. It's just a game.
Does that mean you're on the leaderboard now? Do these count for the leaderboard?
There is a student with a clipboard on the edge of the gathering, who is scribbling furiously. You can see them watching all of the duels going on.
Oh.
Mr. Egan, sir, I have a question.
Yes,
Do these duels count?
they are mage duels on Strixhaven campus. They absolutely count.
So Fergal's on the board now?
Did you win, Fergal?
I did.
Well, then I suppose you're on the board.
Cool.
Well
That's
done.
Blackthorn with an E at the end.
Ian kind of looks at you askance and says, "Don't, tell them," and points to the person in the corner with the clipboard.
Helianthus or Stella, do either one of you want to go with this?
Against
Say
you?
no. Sure. I'll even use the wand thing.
No, you like to use your sword. You should definitely find someone with a sword.
I mean, you were so nice the other day at the Misomorph tournament. If you really want to fight somebody, we can fight, I guess.
No, I don't. You don't need to fight me if you don't want to, but if you want to go.
I mean, sure. What could go wrong?
All right, great. Let's find a spot. Vega looks too excited.
Helianthus looks like she's trying to be supportive. She's like, this is great. At least now it's us and not some stranger that you just met.
All right. So
And Vega
Vega
kind of
Go ahead.
like flicks her eyes a bit, kind of looks at Egan, is suddenly a little bit less impressed with him, given some of these early fights count. But Vega's also, she is what she is. And we'll turn to Helianthus with a smile. All right, let's do this.
Yeah. Just don't hurt me too hard.
No. It's fine.
I want all my fingers. Please don't take those.
Remember, no permanent harm. That's one of the rules.
You were listening.
I like a practice stool. What can I say?
Okay, let's go. Let's
All right. Yeah. So you guys can roll initiative once you've taken your positions.
I accidentally rolled twice. 11.
All right.
my first.
Looks like Helianthus's enthusiasm won out, and she is first.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this is gonna work, but I am going to kind of create a like orb of green, kind of sickly looking stuff, and kind of just hurl it at you. Yeah, that one. I got a 23 to hit. As
Ooh,
this
hit.
orb of green, sickly acid just kind of splashes all over you. It smells kind of nice. It smells faintly floral, but it does sting a little bit. For 10 acid damage.
Vega hisses with delight as the acid kind of splashes all over her body. And it's I think kind of at the same time the acid kind of hits her body, she is moving forward, and we see one hand is going to draw that sword from her back, and then the other one actually has the wand in it. So in response, Vega will try to cast Magic Missile as a bonus action, because that's wild. What is that? 1d4, 3d4 times 4?
3d4 plus 3.
Mm-hmm.
3d4 plus 3. So let's see.
Ooh.
So what happens is we see Vega kind of turns the wand in her hand like she would. You've seen her play with knives. You've seen her sitting and contemplating and turning daggers in her hands. Does the exact same, and then we'll blast it, and we see 3 beams of light, almost like sun rays, come out. The first is this like warm red for sunrise, the next is this bright gold for that high noon sun, and the last is this warm purple as like we dip into dusk, and those go right towards Helianthus.
Yeah, I try and duck. It doesn't work.
How are you doing?
Ow. Ow. Ow.
I'm sorry, was that too much? Do you want to stop?
Oh, just, you're good. You're good. Just,
No, are you good?
yep, we're great.
Are you sure?
We're good. Yep.
Do you want to keep going?
Just do your thing.
No, I just did. It's your turn to do a thing now. Are you sure you want to do it, or do you want to be done?
Oh, I mean, if it's my turn, yeah, that's fine.
Like,
Yeah.
fine as in, you're done?
Oh, no, I am great. I am going to, as I am standing up, I will just, the ice appears out of nowhere and is flung right at your face. Really did not like what just happened, and you can have some ice to the face in return.
Ooh.
That's an 18 to hit if you can't make a dex save. Wait, what? No, how does this work?
It's the hit and then it explodes for the dex save.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it does an 18 hit you?
Yes.
Oh, well then you can have 3 whole piercing damage as ice shards just right in your eyeballs. You just throw some ice in people's face. It's not great. And then it's a dex save,
Okay.
or it's really cold.
All right. Let's
I
see
know how
what
this spell works.
Ooh. So Vega will take
11 cold damage on top of the 3 stabby ice shard damage.
Okay, let me see if there's anything I can do in response to how baller that is. No, I think what happens is the moment Helianthus goes to kind of continue and starts to cast that spell, Vega looks just absolutely surprised and delighted and excited by the continuance, and she's going to actually pull that wicked blade from her back, and then that like shard of ice hits her, and then that cold kind of starts to spread through her body, and she just kind of stiffens and kind of freezes for a moment, and Vega hits 0 hit points. So I think
no, you're fine. Come back. Wake up. You can have 5 healing words.
Was that just murder?
No one is dead. We're not allowed to murder people. I am not getting expelled for this.
And like, because like you can see Vega's like trying to say something as like the healing goes back, and maybe some of that frost starts to like peel back and peel away, and some of the color that was starting to drain from her comes back as Helianthus heals. Oh, fuck, Helianthus, that was awesome.
Are you okay?
Yes, are you kidding me?
Okay.
This is the best I've felt since getting on this campus.
That's concerning.
No, it's not.
It really is.
A voice kind of bellows out over the crowd. It says, "Look to your classmates, students. This one has launched quite a triumph, a flurry of attacks." And Egan is there kind of gesturing at Helianthus and Vega. He says, "You see the swordsman on the ground there simply couldn't do a thing in the face of her superior opponent. Truly a masterclass in outstripping inferior fighters."
We can all learn something from Helianthus. That I agree with.
It's really not. We don't need to make a big. It's fine. We're just. You can go over there now. But no.
You're on the boards.
Oh.
You have a win.
Okay.
Now you should fight Fergal.
Why?
Like a bracket situation.
We're not gonna get to 83 anytime soon.
If you beat the same person 83 times, does it count?
Find out how Egan got their wins. See how honest they were. Vega has a way of anytime Egan tries to throw a barb at her, it just kind of, it's almost like she's sizzling on the inside, but it's kind of like water rolling off a duck's back. And just tries to ignore him as another way of getting a rise out of him.
Right. He does heal you folks, and some other Lorehold students on site do that as well. Egan does occasionally kind of just call out to the group. He hasn't singled anybody out except for Vega, but he does occasionally call out, observe this student's stance, or yes, that's a perfect shield spell. Very good, very good. So there is instruction going on, and again, you guys can restore all your hit points. They are healing you between bouts.
Stella, you should have a go.
Stella is looking very intimidated. She's like very puffed up and moves like minutely. I need to fight someone who looks the weakest.
If you want someone friendly, I could introduce you to Xanther. He's really nice.
He's huge.
Well, he's a big softie. I
Okay.
think. I mean, I've never seen him fight anyone, but
Okay, if you say so.
he's really nice.
Yeah. He's so nice.
You want to go challenge
Xanther?
Xanther?
Hello.
Hey there, you're Helianthus' friend, right? Oh man, this
Yeah.
is great. This is so cool. We all get to be duelists. I've been dreaming about this moment for, well, at least a few weeks now.
Oh, did you fight anyone already?
No, I can't wait. Do you want to fight?
I mean, like, I like you so much. You're a really good friend to my friend. Can we like fight gently?
Oh, I mean, I could try, but I gotta warn you, Xanther doesn't hold anything back. It's kind of just my thing.
Oh, yeah, that's great. That's yeah. Let's do it.
All right, great, let's do it. And hey, if you want to tap out at any time, just say the word. We'll end it there.
Okay.
All right, yeah. So Xanther will take a position opposite Stella, and let's get this duel underway. Go ahead and
Taller is Xanther than Stella.
Xanther stands at an impressive 6'6".
Oh,
He's more than two of me.
you're actually not that big. Usually when I look at you next to Helianthus, I think, whoa. But now it's like, whoa.
You know, you're right. I am kind of small. You know, I'm big for like my race, but there are giants on campus. I shouldn't get a big head about it. Ha! See what I did there?
Yeah, you're so clever. Here goes. Oh,
All right, Stella was absolutely ready with a 22 initiative. Let's have Stella go first.
okay. Stella will really nervous, clasp her hands together and just say a prayer like, please don't let me die, please don't let me die. Oh, he's messed up actually. And burst into white light as she takes on the star form. So hopefully I'm blinding and he cannot. Mechanically it doesn't work. But yes, she's just a ball of white light and makes a ranged spell attack at him. Some shooting stars pop out and try to bop him on the forehead.
Sure, yeah, definitely.
Holy sunburst.
Ranged spell attack. I know I do that. I can do that. That's 5. Oh geez. 1d20. Oh. Pew!
You do see Xanther kind of flick his wand to create a shield spell, but it doesn't deflect your star beam, we'll call it. Yeah, which
Ooh.
hits him squarely in the chest.
Oh, cool. It will only do that much damage.
Only maximum damage as he is knocked back by the force of your blow, kind of even topples over a little bit, flips back onto his feet and says, wow, that was incredible, Stella. Really impressive. Here I come.
Okay.
He charges forward and reaches out with a hand. You see like a kind of corona of force energy on that hand. He runs up to you and just tries to slam you back with the magical energy there.
She's gonna hold out her flimsy stick wand.
All right, does a 22 hit you?
Oh, ooh. Yep.
All right, yeah, so Xanther dashes forward, puts that hand out, an explosion of magical force rocks you for 11 points of force damage.
Oh my.
He'll then kind of dance back and say, wow, this is amazingly fun. Go ahead, hit me, let's go.
I'm so out of breath. Okay.
You can do it.
Okay, here I come again. She's going to cast a bond. He looks like a fiery guy, yeah?
Yeah, definitely. His hair is like basically fire.
Cool. She's gonna shoot more stars at him. Come on, please roll. Oh no, doing terribly.
Oh, yeah, he ducks out of the way of that, jumping down then back up. Almost had me.
How are you moving so quickly?
It's a lot of training, friend, a lot of training. You could do it too, though. Is Stella done?
Oh wait, she has her bonus action. In her starry form, still doing that starry thing. Oh dear, I'm trying to click it. Oh dear.
I think it just rolled damage.
Oh shoot. 20. Okay. Oh, also doing terribly.
You do manage
She thought he would be more tired than that, so
Well,
she's
you
like,
do manage to catch him on the up jump there, as he's talking,
Oh.
perhaps.
oh,
So 7 points?
yes.
Yeah, that second blast catches him, maybe like mid-brag about how limber he is. He kind of shakes his head and says, wow, I really wasn't expecting that. You're pretty quick, aren't you?
Not at all.
He starts to like run back and forth a little bit, kind of hopping from foot to foot. And then you see his hands kind of begin to glow. And he blasts out with a stream of flames at Stella. So we've got a magical flare attack there. An 8 probably doesn't hit, right?
No, it doesn't.
Nice. The flames burn overhead, searing the air and leaving the smell of ash and smoke. But it is your turn.
Oh dear. Okay. She's kind of astounded that she's still standing. Oh, okay. I can catch. Here, throwing a star at you. Oh, it's a 9.
Oh, yeah. He does manage to evade that one.
Okay, and then the bonus baby star.
Oh, that totally hits. Yeah.
So right now it looks like a little meteor shower just pelting down on him.
All right. Yeah, again, he kind of like flinches, like knocks his torso sideways a little bit. rights himself and says, all right, it's Xanther time. And he like takes a pose and then charges forward again with that outstretched hand. 22 to hit
Absolutely.
for 9 points of force damage.
Stella will keel over and croak. I am no longer for this world.
He does like quickly reach down and grab you before you're actually able to tumble over and say, medic, healer, somebody, my friend's unconscious.
I'm dead. I'm so murdered. I'm murdered.
And the Lorehold folks that have been healing folks will kind of hurry over and heal Stella back to full health. When you come to, Xanther's face is full of concern. He says, are you okay? Sorry, I didn't really mean to hit you that hard.
Wow, you are so strong. It must be all the sports that you do. That's amazing.
Certainly helps, but it's also all the practice, and you gotta believe in yourself.
Yep. Your muscles are full of belief. I can feel it.
Says, yep, they sure are. They're full of Strixhaven spirit! And all the students around you echo.
Strixhaven spirit!
Stella will get to her feet and like clasp him on the back. Good game, good duel.
Smiles and says, yeah, I'll catch you later maybe. A rematch sometime or something.
Yeah, I will believe in myself more.
Yeah, make sure you do that. Xanther out. And he walks off. Other folks are kind of beginning to end their dueling sessions. You see a lot of students who are enthused and a lot who seem to be a little bit less enthusiastic about dueling now that they know that the practice is a little bit more down and dirty than they thought, perhaps. It's not quite as glamorous as it's made out to be. Or maybe it is. I don't know. It depends on the way you interpret it, really. Egan will announce, this is like an hour after the start of the class, he'll announce, congratulations to all on your first dueling class. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time for your second session, where we'll go over advanced techniques and build on the knowledge you've gained here.
Polite.
Will there perhaps be an advanced level instructor?
He pointedly ignores you.
And Vega just like titters a bit and makes eye contact and smiles with anyone who cares to. Like, oh, look at this guy.
So you guys heading off? Anything else you want to do at the dueling class before you leave?
I don't think so.
Before we leave, Stella's gonna walk up to the Egan. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And drop off the broken wand at his feet, as she's seen other people done. Thank you, and then leave.
He rolls his eyes under his breath. He says, "Why do the first years always do that?"
Stella, have you always done the bursting into light thing? That was really cool.
Oh, thank you. I haven't, but this time the stars heard my prayer, I think, and I felt really cool. It got really hot. Oh, yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was. You were really right about picking Xander to fight with. He has so much belief. It's kind of, man, his confidence is really something.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. But I didn't know that he was gonna hit people that hard. So sorry.
No, I think it was actually good. I think it builds character or something.
Yeah. Yeah, character. Character's good. And you turn into a star.
Yeah. I want to do that more often.
So on your way out from the dueling class, you are all given one rank 1 dueling wand. Against a single use, it can cast shield, absorb elements, or magic missile as a bonus action. You're told that if you need more, just visit the dueling council. And back to your classes you go. In the intervening time, you guys go through all your coursework and stuff. Is there anything you'd like to do extracurricular-wise or job-wise as far as encounters go? Do you have any ideas for your extracurriculars or jobs? Just for like the next couple weeks, basically. If not, Vega, during a LARPing, live-action role-playing guild meeting, kind of as you guys are all like resting and recuperating afterwards, you know, all sweaty and breathing hard, and it was a really good session. Rosie really outdid herself. This time she was a Bahir, and it was very believable. The Bahir costume was like moving across the field at an incredible pace. The lightning coming out of its mouth almost seemed real, and she wiped the floor with the LARPers. Cadorus says to you, Vega, he says, you know, I heard a really interesting rumor recently. I was thinking maybe you'd want to look into it with me, yeah? A little bit of sleuthing?
Yeah, what do you got?
Well, I heard, and just keep this between you and me, or maybe a couple of friends, but not too big, okay? I heard that one of the founding dragons is actually on campus pretending to be one of the faculty.
Is this something that happens? It's okay. Do you think this is one of those things they tell first years to mess with us, or do you think this is actually legit?
I mean, I don't know, but it's kind of believable, isn't it? Like, the founders, they made this place. They wouldn't just like leave it and never visit, right? But at the same time, they can't just like walk around through the halls as dragons, so they've got to find a way to go about their business. And they wouldn't be students because they know everything already, so they'd be faculty, right?
I suppose I do see the logic in that. All right. Interesting. So you want to figure out which we want to go meet the dragon.
Yeah, well, I think I know who it is already, but Rosie has a different idea. She thinks it's someone else.
All right. Who are our best guesses?
Hey, Rosie, come over here. And Rosie will, in fact, make her way over at incredible speed. Again, she never slows down, even after she spent all day long chasing people in a Bahir outfit. Which, in case people don't know what a Bahir looks like, let's just bring out a Bahir for funsies. Massive, blue, dragon-like serpent things. Anyway.
You know, Rosie, at the beginning of all this, I didn't quite get the purpose of the costumes, but it really adds to the whole thing. Looks good.
Yeah, I'm so glad that we have costumes. I mean, I wouldn't really feel like a monster without it. But once I put the costume on, oh boy, I could just eat all of you alive. Anyway, what were we talking about? What's up, Cadorus?
So, apparently one of the faculty members is a dragon?
Oh, yeah, heard all about that. I know who it is. It's gotta be Osgear, the Reconstructor. He's a stone giant, works in Lorehold. He can make replicas of old relics just by seeing the fragment of the real thing.
But why is that dragon territory?
Well, I've never met somebody who could make things out of nothing, let alone make the real thing from like a tiny fragment of something. Like that's crazy, right? Like they've got to be some kind of incredibly powerful being, probably a founding dragon. I mean, what else could it be, right? Like it's gotta be. Case closed.
All right, Cadorus, your turn to make a more convincing argument.
Well, I mean, maybe Osgear's something he's not saying, but I think it's Imbraham, the Quandrix Dean of Theory. That Owlin speaks like 1,000,000 miles an hour and can do. Well, the rumor is he can do arithmemancy in his sleep. Now, I haven't seen this myself, but if that's like the level of arithmemancy he's on, he's got to be Quandrix himself.
I mean, Cadorus, if I have to be perfectly honest, I'm a little bit. I think Rosie's is a bit more convincing, but all right. Both of them do seem to be doing something rather spectacular.
You don't understand. Arithmemancy is insanely difficult. If he does it in his sleep, it's got to be like part of his being, right? Like, the only way you could do that is if you made the whole thing up.
I think I do have to take your word for it.
Okay, well, I'll prove it to you. Just you wait. It's definitely Imbraham.
Okay. How do you suspect? how do you propose we go about figuring this out?
I don't know. I was kind of hoping you'd have some ideas.
All right. Well, I know just the people who might also be interested in this, and they might have better ideas than all of us.
Great. Let's go meet them.
And Vega will maybe arrange a time later in the day when she knows that Helianthus, Virgil, and Stella will all be back at our shared dorm room, kind of like where we might hang out in the common room, and say like, hey, Rosie, Kadoris, we should have dinner together tonight at my common room. Everyone will be there and we can come up with a plan.
Kadoris and Rosie are in.
And so I think over the course of the day, Vega will find the other three, tell them about the plan, share everything about her conversation with Rosie and Kadoris. So kind of everyone has the same information, and that way we can all kind of reconvene for dinner and scheming.
Cool. Yeah, well, so say you all go about your classes, and then that evening you meet for dinner. Yeah, maybe in your dorm room. So there you are.
Welcome, take a seat, make yourself at home.
It's a nice room you guys have. Is that a real death nettle?
Don't go near that.
Yeah, I don't think I will.
Yeah, don't touch
That's
that.
Ceres.
Oh, okay.
You
It's
ever seen a
definitely real.
talking plant?
You have a talking plant?
I do.
Oh, that's so cool. But wait. We're here for a reason. Let's get to business. Sorry, first things first.
Are you guys LARPing here tonight?
No, we're talking. Well, Vega, you tell him.
Oh.
We're talking dragon sleuthing.
Oh.
So
I've heard some people, that guy, the professor that showed up and gave me that crystal at the end of the tournament, and he was like really weird, and everyone was like, why are you here? Maybe he's the dragon.
yeah, did you ever figure out who that was?
Professor Zafi?
Oh yeah, Zafai, the Thunder Conductor. He
Zafai,
is
yeah,
pretty
that
weird,
guy.
definitely. But he's not a dragon. I mean, that's crazy. He's definitely Imbraham.
I don't know, like people thought it was weird that he like showed up at a tavern and like people go to taverns. He
Well,
doesn't
he's
seem
a
to get
musical
out much.
genius, you know. I mean, he's really. I mean, he's kind of special. He's like a celebrity almost.
Right. Because he's a dragon.
I mean, I guess. Is every musician a dragon? I don't think so. I mean, is
I don't
making
know.
great music really as impressive as casting magic in your sleep?
Virgil, do you think Aurora's a dragon?
No, she's a first year like us.
Dragons gotta learn stuff.
Rosie chimes in real quick and says, "Hey, you mentioned Aurora. She's actually the person who told me this rumor."
Oh.
Oh, then maybe she's got an idea of who this dragon is.
Oh yeah, I'll go get her.
She
Be right back.
is the dragon because she's spreading the rumors.
Oh, and she's saying it's a faculty member to throw the scent off herself.
Pretty good ruse.
So Rosie comes back with Aurora in a couple minutes, and she says, "Wow, nice dorm, you guys. What's this about the rumor that Rosie was talking about?"
You mean that you're a dragon?
That's ridiculous. I'm not a dragon. I mean, I
Are
wish.
you sure? Can you cast magic in your sleep?
What? No.
Are you?
You make really good music.
I do make really good music, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I was a dragon and just didn't know it, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
I suppose that's a mark against the phi.
What?
So if you had to, if you had to pick between Professor Ibrahim,
Ibrahim. And I've said it wrong a couple times. It's your fault.
Ibrahim, or Professor Oskia, which one would you think was a vampire? Nope.
Or
A dragon.
Oh, a dragon. Oh, well, it's... If you're talking about the rumor, it's neither of those. I already figured it out.
Oh, all right.
It's Guillaume, the master chef in Witherbloom. I watched that man make an incredibly tasty soup out of literal swamp muck. That's not just magic. That's DD level power. I don't believe it for a second.
He is special.
The swamp
that's for sure.
ramen.
Yeah. So you've had it. It's delicious, right?
I have. You know what? I might agree with you on this one.
Right? It's gotta be Guillaume.
If I recall correctly, dragons enjoy hoarding things. Do we know any faculty with the habit of collecting, perhaps?
Rosie chimes in that Osgir the Reconstructor has a massive hoard of old relics he's reconstructed. So clearly he's the dragon.
Who's been here the longest?
Another point.
Like the longest professor.
None of the NPCs know who's been here the longest.
Or like the Oracle? Maybe it's the Oracle. Like maybe the Oracle's actually one of the dragons.
Oh, I've heard the Witherbloom Dean of the Vein. I've heard he's been here a really long time. I forget his name.
Oh, who, Valentine? Yeah, he's a vampire for sure. But he's not a dragon. There's no way.
Wait, vampires are real?
Aurora kind of scoffs and says, yeah, we're real.
Yeah, they're... Yeah.
Wait. You said we.
Well, I'm not really a vampire. Have you heard of a Dampier?
No.
Well, anyway, we're like vampires. It makes us like basically just stronger and more resilient and better than most folk. I mean, I don't mean to brag or anything.
I'm still hung up on the whole vampires are real thing, but okay.
Yeah,
Thank you
that's
for
very
sharing.
real.
They're very,
Most-
very, very real.
Most things are real. I cannot stress that enough.
Like you have to understand. I lived on a farm. Like we
Right,
grew
and-
plants. That was about it. Like the worst I've ever met before coming here was a bear.
Also,
Obviously,
very
bears are real. But
Yes.
like vampires were things that they like told scary stories about, so we didn't go running around in the forest at night.
Oh,
What are
don't
some
worry,
other things you heard scary stories about?
Well, like werewolves,
Real.
Definitely real. Yep.
ghosts.
Real.
Oh, absolutely yes.
We call them geists, but they're
Zombies?
real. Oh, they're real too.
Yep.
What about like evil skeleton things with like really sharp claws?
Where did you think I got this from?
Your world is really scary.
You learn how to deal with it.
Anyway, dragons. We're focusing. We're focusing
Also
on
real.
dragons. I mean, I just accepted dragons were real when they like founded the school and stuff. We already covered that one. Vampires were new though. Sorry, I didn't. If that was rude, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It's true. We're hard to believe.
Okay, dragons. Refocusing on dragons. Can a vampire be a dragon? Are we ruling out that Witherbloom professor? How does that work?
I really don't think he's a dragon. All he does is spend all day long studying blood.
Maybe
So
he's hoarding blood?
I mean, I guess.
I would. Oh gosh, that's very spooky. I mean, so it's Embrame or Oskia or Guillaume. But how do we draw the dragon? Do we just go and knock on their front doors and say, "Hey, are you one of the founders of the school?"
I don't think they would tell you. And Rosie says, yeah, I'm pretty sure they would, actually. They're not going to lie to us. They're the founders.
Maybe we have to come up with a question that only the founders could know.
And get them to answer it.
And then we have to know that it's true. I don't know. This feels very complicated.
Yeah, to discover a secret that only the founders would know, that would be quite an undertaking in and of itself.
That's perhaps something that club. I can't remember the name of it. The club you've been in. That almost seems like that cup
Oh.
of tea.
Right, the History Society, the Dragon's Guard.
Kind of seems like that thing, actually.
I could talk to
Oh.
my friend Rampart about it.
Maybe ask him who the oldest professor on campus is.
Oh, they'd probably know that.
Some places to start, I guess.
Well, if you all don't think it's Imbraham or Osgir or Guillaume, who do you think it is?
Well, I already said who I thought it was, but I got shot down, so.
Well, who did you say?
Sorry.
I said Professor Zafi.
Oh, that's funny. The guy who told me about the rumor, this is Aurora speaking, by the way. The guy who told me about the rumor thought it was Zaphi, too.
Zafi. I'm gonna get his name one of these. I haven't had him yet. I just ran into him one time.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he's a Prismari professor. I can't imagine you'd be studying under his classes. He's really up there, you know, but he's not a dragon. I don't know why Quintilius thinks he is.
Who?
I mean,
Quintilius?
Professor.
You've met Quintilius, right?
No.
I don't think so.
Oh, he's a great guy. You should totally meet him. Tell you what, I'll go get him right now.
See you in a few minutes.
Is there room for this many people in our common room?
I mean,
Stella's breaking out all the folding chairs. Oh, we need another cushion.
there isn't not room. Definitely some people are standing, some people are sitting at the counter.
I mean, well, with just throwing out professors, Professor Sharpbeak she's from Silverquill. She hands out platinum coins like they're nothing. That's kind of dragony.
Don't
No.
dragons keep their coins? But she's giving them.
Maybe it's a part of a ruse. No, you're right.
Or she has so much money it doesn't matter.
Oh.
No, that's weak.
Um,
Do we just go to every professor? Are you a dragon?
Aurora returns with a fellow who looks pretty. I mean, he's unique. Here he is. When he enters, he bows deeply at the waist and says, "I am Quintilius Antiphian Melentor III. It is a pleasure to make all of your acquaintances." I'm afraid we haven't been properly introduced.
Wait a second. Is this the guy from the theater? Have we met?
Oh, I'm sure you've seen me around once or twice, but I haven't had the pleasure of speaking to you directly.
No.
Anyway, I'm informed you're investigating the dragon rumor.
Yes.
Well,
Got a theory.
I know for a fact it is Zaphi the Thunder Conductor. His talent with music, and not only that, he can cause the sky to crack, lightning to break down, rain to pour, and sunlight to shine bright, all at a whim while conducting his incredible music. That sort of raw power has never been seen in a humanoid.
Wait a second. So far, there's a theory for like 3-4 of the schools that there's a dragon professor. What if all 5 of the dragons are here?
Oh.
Well, that's interesting and perhaps even alarming. But anyways, that's probably nothing. It's just me being me. Anyways.
Do you not like dragons?
Oh, no, just if all 5 of the dragons are here for something, that can't mean anything good, but that's probably just me overthinking this. Perhaps they're just having a luncheon? Coming to say hello?
Quintilius chimes in and says, "Oh, no. The rumor is that there is one on campus. That's distinctly what I heard."
Well, rumors often are only partially true. I once heard a rumor that the Bogdan twins drank 3 whole bottles of whiskey and they only drank 1, but they wanted to seem cool. So, like, maybe this is the opposite, where they only want us to think there's 1 dragon here, but there's 5.
Who benefits from that?
The
Them?
dragons.
I don't think they have to mask their presence if they don't want to. I mean, everybody on campus would be honored to know the founders were here. But also, I happen to know the founders are quite what's the right word? They avoid each other a little bit. They have egos, you understand, dragons and all that.
Now, why do you have this privileged information?
It's hardly privileged. I've taken a history course, have you not?
No.
Ah,
I
well,
mean, yes.
Nobody did sign up for the. Oh, I guess one person did, but yeah. Anyway.
Vega did.
Oh, that's right,
Vega's
that's right.
in the Lorehold class. Something that was actually what she did in fiction. Like, she forgets that she is signed up for a Lorehold class and has been taking it all school year so far. No, you're right. I think we might actually be in a class together.
Oh, the back of your head does look familiar. If you could just turn. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yep. Yes, you sit 2 rows down from me. I remember now.
I do, yeah. All the good it's doing me, huh? Anyways. I mean, did you hear the rumor from someone else who didn't agree with you?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Maybe you should bring them over.
I think that's a great idea, actually. She's just
Can
kind
you
of fun
ask
to have
them to
around,
bring
too.
their own chair? I think we're out.
Yeah.
Tell you what, I'll stop by the Bow's End and grab a couple of chairs. And then Quintilius heads off.
Should we get some more snacks? I feel like we keep having people come over and we're not. Are y'all hungry? Like, do you need a beverage?
I have the swamp plant that grows bread. I think it should be good for harvest. I'm gonna pluck some bread from the swamp.
And you know what? I'm gonna put Siri's plant in her room before another guest asks about it and almost touches it.
Do you know how to do that safely?
It's fine. I'll be fine. It's fine. Poison has never really been a thing I worry about.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Vega dips out. There's like a as she carries the plant. Comes back. Her wound has like a slight glow to it. It's fine.
Quintilius does return a few minutes later with Mina Lee, who is a second-year Silver Quill student.
oh, hi, Mina.
Oh, hey. Wow, you guys have a lovely dorm. It's really beautiful. And you have so many people here already. This is quite a party, isn't it?
It's a scavenger hunt. We're trying to solve a mystery.
Oh, yes, the rumor. Yes. I can solve it for you, honestly. I'm pretty sure it's Brina. The Silver Quill professor, whose words are like liquid silver in the ears. She's impossible to disobey or to not listen to. If you've ever been near her, you'd know. I mean, it's got to be her. Shadrix. All the legends say that Shadrix's words were unignorable, and she's the same way.
See, I'm starting to think my theory is true. I think there's 5 dragons on campus. What do you think about them?
Oh, me? You're asking Mina?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I definitely heard it was just the one.
Right, but you heard it was the Silver Quill, and someone else told it was the Witherbloom guy, and then somebody else heard it was the Quandrix guy that does the math in his sleep, and then I kind of think it's Zaffy because he like does all the thunder and the lightning and the music rain, and so like that's like one from every school.
I have an idea, and I don't think anyone's going to like it. I think in order to become a professor here, you've got to be a pretty impressive person. And so that's why all these people are pretty impressive, and maybe they're not dragons, they're just really good at what they do.
As one, all the NPCs begin to disagree with you.
Virgil, do you think there isn't a dragon then, or do you think the dragon is someone else? I'm just trying to clarify.
I just think that the people who are specialists in their field, being good, really, really good in their field, doesn't necessarily mean they're suspicious.
But where do you stand on the dragon?
Unsure.
That's good to know.
What does Stella
I'm
think?
dragon curious.
We have to devise a test and just present it to all of our suspected dragons.
Maybe we split up and we all go find one of them.
Do you think it'll work if we go to them and say, hey, are you a dragon? Or do we have to actually do some other kind of Test.
Does anyone speak dragon?
No.
Oh.
Because maybe if you talk in dragon and then they understand you, then we know that they at least talk dragon.
Rosie's been studying Draconic to make her her monsters more believable.
Do a lot of people speak dragon here? Is this a silly test?
Well, it's not an unusual language. I mean, a lot of people know it. I'm learning it really easily. Actually, it's not that different than well, giant and elf. I mean, it's different. It's very different actually, but it's similar structure anyway. Mina kind of clears her throat and says, "You know, I think this is really fun. I think that this is a moment. You know, we're all here at Strixhaven and we're enjoying the campus this way. I really want to make this exciting. So tell you what, I will throw in a prize. The person who proves that their suspect is, you know, in fact a founding dragon can have my sphere of aptitude, which makes you good at just about everything."
Isn't that cheating at school?
Well, no.
No.
Like if you didn't have that, would you still be as good as you are currently?
Well, it makes you better at learning things, but you still have to have the knowledge yourself. It doesn't inform you, it just helps you study. And also, you know, exercise and all the other things you can do.
Definitely no harm in having a magical advantage. Especially at a school for wizards. And one full of magic. I think it's a good prize.
What's in it for you to give up such a useful item for this knowledge? What will you do with this knowledge?
Oh, well, I'm just really curious. I remember what my first year was like. And living your first years with you is just a really wonderful thing for me.
Was this rumor around when you were a first year?
Oh, no, I heard it very recently.
Wait, who did you hear it from?
I don't remember, honestly.
Are they free when to we invite them over?
To get back to the source.
No, I think I was moving through a crowd and I heard some people whispering behind me. I turned and I couldn't tell who it was. They sounded really earnest.
I'm inclined to believe there's at least something interesting happened on campus. It's worth looking into. I don't have any big tests coming up, so I can spend at least some time doing this.
You know, I am friends with like the most popular guy at school. I bet he knows who started this rumor.
You know what might be useful also? If you know, you have a lot of friends. If you know one of your friends can cast a spell that makes it impossible to lie, then we can be like, "Are you a dragon?" And then see what they say.
Can you do that?
I mean, I can't, but like, I think like very religious people can. Wait, Becca, can you?
No, I cannot.
That doesn't surprise me.
What is that?
Wait, what?
That's.
I feel like you just like dishonesty, so why would you be caring about the truth?
Oh. Is this another duel happening in the making?
No, that wasn't me. You just don't seem to necessarily care about telling the truth all the time.
I suppose I tend to care a little bit more about the ends. That's fair. Honesty is a
rude.
tool.
I'm sorry.
I mean, honesty and deception are both two sides of a different tool. Both can be used for the same thing. You know what? I promise not to lie to you. Call it at that.
The NPCs are going to each briefly talk about how they're going to go investigate their suspects. They're pretty sure they're going to catch them in the act somehow. They each have ideas for how they're going to go about it.
I saw you flying and breathing fire.
Kadoris is going to snoop on Dean Imbraham and catch him casting magic while he sleeps. Rosie is going to simply go ask Osgear face to face, demand the truth out of him. Aurora plans to force Guillaume to tell her. She's not clear how she's going to do that. And Quintelius is going to sit in on some more concerts with Zephi, certain that the experience will shed light on the whole situation. Mina seems to have already made up her mind, but the rest of them will dash off, hoping to win the sphere of aptitude for themselves.
Who should we go hassle?
That's an interesting question.
I had an idea. So, dragons are very old. So, thinking about the professor who's been here longest does make sense. But if the dragon has only been here since this year and wasn't here last year, then perhaps the professor the dragon is pretending to be also is new this year.
Oh, I like that a lot.
But I don't know who's new.
I mean, do you think maybe at the Dragon God, or actually Stella the paper, perhaps, might have that information? Like a new faculty spotlight?
Yeah, I get. Well, Mina works at the paper, and I think she told us everything that she knows. Oh, we can pretend to be doing an interview, and that's how we become nosy with all the faculty. Yes, good idea. Good idea.
You can pretty easily search through the paper to find new hires information. None of the suspects weren't here last year. The most recent hire was Brina, and she was hired 3 years ago.
Okay.
But before that, she was a teacher. She just wasn't a full-on professor. All of them have been at Strixhaven for 10 years or more.
Are there new professors in general this year, or?
Not this year. The newest one is a pair of twins who, I think they're Quandrix. They work as a pair of twins. They teach classes together and all that.
They're probably not a dragon.
They're two dragons.
Is that a thing? If so, that's very cool. I mean, I say we just stop being nosy.
I could perhaps turn into something very, very small and follow someone.
What if you turn into a baby dragon and like cry, and then one of the dragons will come and save you because they hear your cry?
I've never seen a dragon before, so I don't think I can.
I don't know if they're very maternal.
Oh. But they're territorial, right? They'll be like, new kid on my turf. Get it?
As you guys concoct plans and start to think about ways you might investigate these rumors, you go about your classes the next day, you start to hear people whispering about the founder dragon being on campus. It seems like almost everybody knows this rumor now, and all of them have designs on Mina's sphere of aptitude. It is now the talk of the school, and everybody seems to be after the sphere. You hear many suspects besides the ones you've heard, though their justifications don't ring quite as true. Somebody suspects Ruxa, a Quandrix professor, only because she is a bear who teaches magic classes, and that's weird. Anyway, there's a lot of like strange conjecture going on. None of the justifications quite as strong as the ones you heard earlier, though certainly everyone's a suspect.
Who does Xanther think is the professor dragon?
Xanther idolizes one of the Prismari professors. It is. Oh, it's the dean actually. Xanther idolizes Nasari, Dean of Expression. She. Oh, sorry. They. Their pieces capture the world around them and the feelings that they feel so entirely. He talks about this piece that was on display in the Alum Society area. That this dean Nasari put together, and talked about how it made him feel things. And as he's describing it, you remember actually you saw that same very piece, the kind of the art object that just made your brain grow as you looked at it, basically.
Yeah, I want to be that good someday.
Right. So he's convinced that Nasari, Dean of Expression, is actually Prismari, the founding dragon, in the flesh.
Interesting.
And his idea for how to prove it, so to speak, is just study them making art. Xanther is sure that there's something about the way they make art. Maybe they form it with fire breath, from their mouth, or ice breath from their mouth. Maybe there's some kind of draconic thing they do with the art that'll display them or expose them as a dragon.
Well, just be careful. You don't want to interrupt an artist in their work.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I'll be really respectful. Absolutely. I'm just gonna watch. Yeah. Actually, I asked Nasari about it, and they said it was fine, so should be good.
Oh, well, I can't today, but you should let me know the next time you're gonna do that, because I also am curious.
Oh yeah, let's go watch them together. That would be awesome. We should get like a watch party for Nasari. Strixhaven art party. Woo!
Yeah. Yeah, but I have to go help my friends find a dragon. But next time.
Oh no, yeah, for
Next
sure.
time.
You guys, go find the dragon, but it's Nasari, pretty sure.
Yeah.
You should follow whatever you believe, 100%. But if it's not Nasari, you're probably wrong. Just saying.
Noted. I appreciate you sharing your theories with me. That I appreciate.
Oh, you're my friend, man. I'd share anything with you.
That's nice. That's nice. You're the best.
No, you.
Oh, I don't want to do this again.
We'll be here all day.
But bye though. I'm gonna go now. See ya.
Bye.
We have so many leads.
Let's go with your gut reaction. The thunder musician. Let's go inspect them.
Yeah, do you guys want to check out Zafai, Thunder Conductor?
Sure.
Okay. So you can head over to Prismari campus. Actually, looking at the time, as you guys head over there, I think en route we'll take a quick break. We'll take a 10-minute break. The stream will resume at 8:40, and we'll head over to Prismari campus and investigate Zafai, the Thunder Conductor, to see if they are in fact Galazeth Prismari, the founding dragon themselves. We'll see you in 10 minutes. Be right back. And we're back. Hey everybody, thanks for the follow, Dev. Really appreciate it. Helps us get to our Twitch milestone goals faster, and also it's just so awesome that you are here on Twitch with us. Right, so we are back investigating a strange rumor on Strixhaven campus that one or more of the founding dragons are actually on campus impersonating members of the faculty. We have a number of leads so far, and our intrepid heroes are going to try to figure out which ones of them are in fact founding dragons, if any of them are at all. So take it away, folks.
Have any of y'all been on the Prismari campus before? I haven't.
No, I don't think so.
All right, perfect. So none of us know where we're going. It's fine.
Oh, we could get one of those little guide creatures.
Oh.
I say kind of loud. I wish I knew where I was going. I feel so lost.
Behind you, you feel like a bump in the back of your knee. And a little campus guide is there, waving at you.
Could you show us to Prismari, the Prismari campus?
It kind of nods its head in assent, and then starts walking backwards. Its map showing where you are and where you're going.
Do you know the location of Professor Zafai right now?
A message kind of flashes on the display on its chest. It says, I can take you to Professor Zafai's classroom and his office. Which would you prefer?
Classroom.
Office?
Office?
I mean, it's evening, right? Like it's after classes typically.
It could be whatever time you guys like. You are setting off. I guess it would be after classes, so probably early evening. Yep.
Yeah, maybe Zafai has office hours.
Okay. Yeah, the campus guy will walk you over there. It boards a little tram device. It's like a floating metal box that moves along the grounds, carries people between campuses, and off you go. You arrive at Prismari campus, which so this is the campus itself. It's kind of like a side view of part of the campus. Let me show you kind of the overall map as well, so that people kind of have an idea of what's going on. Oh, this picture doesn't zoom. That's crazy. Anyway, so if you're looking at the campus map handout here, we see that the middle campus, central campus, is here. Very lush, kind of classical buildings, and then via tramways that travel along these large causeways, people go between campuses. Prismari is over on the lower left. It is a sweeping assortment of buildings. The roads kind of swirl around the buildings, sometimes even do loops. Though they are somehow navigable, you can walk around the loop upside down without any trouble. It's just a fantastical, kind of crazy place to visit. There's a side view of one of the spires with those kind of skyways besides them. They look like a mixture of flames and ice. But the campus guide will escort you off of the tram through this kind of mesmerizing tangle of buildings and skyways to a building kind of towards the middle, and will lead you inside and to an office door. Prismari architecture is, of course, very, very expressive and strange. All sorts of sweeping shapes and colors. The buildings itself might actually change colors as you watch. So this office itself, like the materials of the door, for example, are very scintillating, we'll say. There you are at the office.
Should we knock?
That would be polite.
I suppose, I mean, Helianthus, you still intend to join Prismari, right?
Oh yes, very much so.
Perhaps you should be the one to knock.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
I will.
one moment before you do. I listen at the door for dragon sounds.
Okay. Yeah, give us a perception check.
Because they're trying not to be seen as a dragon. So if we catch them before they know we're here, I get a 9. I don't think I hear anything.
You'd hear something as you like put your ears to the door. You hear a faint humming sound. And it is just like a hum, like someone might make absent-mindedly. But you find yourself kind of pressing your ear harder to the door because the hum is compelling. It is a tune that speaks to your heart. You feel both the ache of loss that you've experienced in your life, whether it was losing a toy, missing out on your favorite meal, or someone dear to you kind of moving away or even perishing. You feel that kind of echoed in this hum.
Is this a dragon? What do you hear?
I don't think so.
Is that a tear forming at the corner of your eye? You got something.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's beautiful.
So is everybody like ears to the door now, listening to the humming?
You gotta hear this.
After a few moments of humming, which is again incredibly beautiful, tugging at your heartstrings, really just like pulls you back into a scene of great emotional meaning to your character. The humming stops, and you hear a chair and then footsteps.
I back away from the door like I was never listening at it creepily.
Sure. The door does open as you all like back away from it.
Oh,
Go ahead. Did you guys want to play it cool, or are you?
I was gonna
Trying.
like go to try and pretend like I was about to knock.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Go ahead and I mean, hey, we'll just say you do that. So as the footsteps approach, you're gonna knock on the door.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just-
Thunk, thunk, thunk. The thunks are actually strangely musical. This door seems to have very good acoustics.
Ooh.
You hear a voice say, "Open," and the door swings open, revealing a large, opulent office. There are a variety of musical instruments on the walls, both many that you recognize and many that you're pretty sure might not exist anywhere else in the world. There are a strange collection of strings, drums, metal cymbals, and all manner of other things like woodwinds and such. Standing before you is a very, very impressive individual. Let's pull him up while we're at it. The guy in the middle, if you will. Right, so a tall figure with just incredibly flowing clothes, gold embroidered on the trim, ruffles everywhere, and a massive head of red curly hair that looks like flames or even lightning streaking off of his head. He is posed, one hand in the air, his elbow resting on the other hand, and he says, "I could swear I heard some heartbeats outside my door. Welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see you again, Helianthus."
Oh, yeah, we were, well, my friend Xanther, was gonna go observe a professor here, and I was gonna meet up with him, and then we heard the humming, and we were curious what it was.
Oh, yes, my humming. I do love Xanther so very much. There's something musical about his spirit, isn't there?
Oh, he's great.
A harmony to him that sings above everything else, doesn't it? Well, anyway, come on in. I'm sorry, you were asking about a professor?
Oh, yeah, he was going to go, watch one of the other professors do some art,
Yes.
and then we got distracted, and we were just curious what you were humming so beautifully.
I see. I'm sorry, I should be more careful lest my humming attract more curious bees, but I'm just composing as I always do. Do you play yourself?
Oh, no, I prefer more physical mediums of art.
Oh, but you should. Music, in its transience, expresses the magic of life far better than any other medium.
Well, maybe I'll give it a try. What were you're composing something? It sounds kind of sad.
Oh, yes. I was thinking back to the time when I lost my favorite instrument, back when I was a student at this very college. It was
When?
world-shattering.
you went here. When did you go here?
Oh, it must have been 20 years now. Yes, 20 years was my graduation from this college. I traveled the plains, seeking out new and different musics, and I have finally brought them back here. Yes.
That sounds wonderful. Do you? I don't really know how people celebrate graduating this wonderful school. Do you have like photos or something of this graduation?
Oh, well, I must have something somewhere. I'm flattered at your interest in me. I must confess, I'm a little bit confused. Are you an admirer of my work? You said yourself you weren't so interested in music.
Well, I don't play, but I do love music. We didn't have a lot of it back home. We had a fiddle and, some like general folk music, but it was nothing like your work. It's just exceeds expectations in so many ways.
Yes, well, it is my life now. I'm glad that you can appreciate it. And he will kind of go in the back and begin rummaging through some drawers. You see him like flipping through framed photos, not photos, but like paintings, I guess. Framed paintings on canvas.
Yeah. That was subtle, right, guys?
Yeah, real good.
He comes out with a painting. It doesn't look like it was painted. It looks like it was magically kind of rearranged. The pigments placed on the page in such a way to represent the scene quite realistically. You do see a group of students, maybe 4 dozen or so, arranged in just the most incredible clothes you've ever seen. Their graduation robes, if you can even call them that, evoke flames, ice, dancing wind, and endless oceans of water. They're just it's an art piece just to look at their outfits in this painting. And sure enough, right there in the middle, you see one of them with an incredibly massive, bright red shock of hair. Looks very similar to the fellow in front of you.
Is there any way to tell how old this painting is?
That's a good question. Can you think of a way? There's certainly a magic spell that might do that.
I don't think I have anything magically that would tell me that. But like, I mean, they're wearing magic clothes, so I guess that wouldn't really be helpful. But like, I don't know, does the oil, like paint age? Does this look like it's aged?
You can make an
20
investigation
years?
check, perhaps. Anybody who wants to can make the same check, as you're all studying this painting. Or anything else you'd like to do.
Sure. I'll try.
Big is looking at the
14.
instruments on the wall. She's almost completely checked out from this conversation.
Out of 14.
Nice. With a 14, the paint has aged a little bit, but not significantly. It's a little bit sus for Helianthus, perhaps. Stella, you will note a distinctive magical sheen to this painting when looked at in the right angle. You're pretty sure this painting is magical or magically preserved. Or both.
Do you all design your own clothes, or is there like you get assigned an element for graduation?
Oh dear.
Work?
You seem to be laboring under some very strange assumptions about Prismari. No one here is assigned anything.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. This is fascinating.
No, here we encourage students to express themselves in every fiber of their being. Every act they do should be quintessentially them.
Yes, that's great. We should be ourselves. That's very important. Do you all have anything you're curious? I mean, I've been talking an awful lot here. We should probably go. Maybe we're wasting your time.
What did you do before you were a student here? Did you come from this plane or another?
Oh, I was a traveling minstrel in a plane called Oerth. You've probably never heard of it. It's not very prominent in the grand scheme of things.
Who taught you how to play?
It was my father before his passing. He taught me from a very young age, and I've never forgotten his lessons. He always told me that the heart is the most important and powerful instrument we have.
But if you had to pick a favorite one on the wall, which one is it?
Looks on the wall, eyes kind of scanning each one, points at one of them and says, I would have to go with the Zephyr horn. It is a marvelous creation. I only came up with it myself a couple of years back, but I have yet to improve upon it. And for all intents and purposes, it looks like a bagpipe with saxophone bells coming off of it.
What's the instrument that you lost that you wrote a sad song about?
It was my very first reed flute. A simple, plain instrument, not capable of the refined tonalities that my recent creations are capable of, but it was made for me by my father, and I have mourned its passing many times. I'm sorry, are you here? I have a great deal of admirers. I'd just like to know, is this being written down somewhere? Am I interviewing for an article of some kind?
Oh yeah, I'm part of the newspaper. Your story is so compelling. You're such a fascinating individual. Do you mind?
Oh well, no, not at all. If you're convinced that readers want to read about me,
We're actually hoping to put together profiles on a lot of professors at the school. Who are some of like the oldest professors here?
Oh, the oldest. Let me see. He mentally flips through a book.
Perhaps the ones with the most spectacular talents and abilities. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Stella, but they might make for the best pieces for the paper.
Yes, definitely. But we should still talk to as many people as possible, you know.
Or like any professors that have some like rivalries.
Well, I suppose you haven't been at Strixhaven very long. All of the deans are rivals with each other, so to speak, within each college. These colleges themselves are based upon opposing philosophies. Everyone at Strixhaven is a rival of a huge number of their peers. I couldn't pick out any single rivalry. Well, we're all rivals with each other.
You know, I mean, you could be rivals on ideology and all that jazz, but are perhaps any of these rivalries stemming from any professors perhaps taking really long leaves of absence and then returning all of a sudden? You know, the kind of thing that pushes a bunch of work on one person.
Well...
And then they just show up like it's no big deal.
I do know that Kian, Dean of Substance of the College of Quandrix, often goes plane jumping looking for new specimens to add to her menagerie. I don't know how Imbraham feels about that. He is more or less sequestered at all times with his work, but I imagine it could place an additional strain on Kian, or Imbraham, rather.
If Imbraham is sequestered with his work all the time, if we're trying to get him for the paper, is there like a time that might be best to try to grab them to talk?
I don't mean to be rude, but this is Prismari College you're in.
You know what? I'm sorry, you're right.
I'm sorry, I can't be more helpful and I regret it, but you could simply ask Dean Imbraham. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear from you next time he's above the surface, so to speak.
Writing down above the surface. Underline.
I do have to ask, I'm just curious, do the professors keep up with the latest rumors at the school? Like how well versed are you in the happenings amongst, like the first years and just in general?
Oh, I don't trouble myself with such things as gossip. I am very occupied with my music. I can barely find time to teach. In fact, speaking of time, I really must get back. This piece isn't going to write itself. I'm terribly sorry, but I hope you've got enough material. I'm going to have to get back to it. Thank you for all for visiting. I look forward to seeing you all. I think some of you have a very bright future ahead of you, and keep an open mind about music, Helianthus. You've got something inside you that should be told to the world.
Yeah, maybe I'll take one of your classes soon.
Yes, that would be lovely. And he kind of is like wide arm gesturing for you guys to leave.
As they're being pushed out, Vega hums a few of the bars of what she overheard back at him and kind of nods. Can't wait to hear the full piece.
Give us a performance check, maybe, if you'd like.
Ooh.
Yeah. Let's see. 25.
Wow. So you guys all, I mean, everybody in the room, including the professor, kind of pause for a moment as Vega hums this incredibly melodic verse from Zaphai's humming. He says, "That was marvelous. You have music in you, and I didn't hear it before. If I wasn't so busy, I would tell you what. Come back to my office in a week's time, and I have questions for you."
Thank you for your time.
Just one real quick. How do you feel about dragons?
Love them. Their roars are just mwah. He closes the door in your face.
I don't think he's the dragon.
Yeah, I
Neither
don't
do
think
I.
so either.
But he loves them.
You know, a few of the things he said about the professor from Quandrix made me think maybe that's the next best bet.
Is that the arithmetic is sleep guy?
Mm-hmm.
I think.
There's the one who leaves all the time, and then the one who's stuck here all the time.
Right, and the one that leaves wasn't one of our original suspects.
Right.
Oh, you're right. No, it's our original suspect is the one who's sequestered all the time, which could be another form of leaving. It does seem quite convenient.
Oh.
But
Yeah, we should investigate them.
on to Quandrix College?
Sure. Your little campus guide shows up immediately, basically at the mention of those words, and gestures for you to follow it. You can board a tram from Prismari. It takes you back to Central, and then again across campus entirely to that right arm of the star here, where you can see the blues and greens of Quandrix campus. Let's pull that handout up. There we go. So very lush campus full of plants that grow in incredibly large groves. There are floating crystals in the sky, as you can see, and then all water features everywhere. And the water kind of takes on forms. It spirals through the air, flows in odd ways, so it doesn't behave like normal water. Like you can see it there in the picture, arcing over the walkway, splashing from one river of water to the next. It's very, very mind-bending. And the campus guide gets you there, and then kind of looks at you. You see a query appear on the screen. It says, "Where to exactly here?"
We would like to speak with Professor Ibrahim.
Right. It will lead you onwards. Takes you to that central spire there. To get there, you have to walk across some very, very thin causeways that are over just like a complete vertical void. Just a 1,000-foot drop there. You can't even see the bottom probably. It's shrouded in mist. But you make your way there slowly and safely, following the confident little campus guide as it waddles across the walkways into that central building. Takes you to the very top, where you are greeted by a Quandrix apprentice. He is standing behind a lectern, studying a tome. You can see symbols in the air around him as he seems to be studying, though with a wave of his hand that all disappears. He turns to you all, smiles widely, and says, welcome to Quandrix Central Spire. Are you here to see the Dean?
Wait, is Ibrahim the dean?
Oh, yeah, Dean Ibrahim, Dean of concept, yes. Dean of theory, quite, yes. He is the dean.
Oh, yes.
Do you have an appointment?
No, but we're working on an article for the Strixhaven Star, and it's gonna be published really soon. We're kind of on a time crunch, and we would love to get in a quick interview with him if that's possible, please.
I see. Dean Imbraham is often submerged in his work. I can check, but I don't have much hope for you seeing him right now.
It might be helpful if you tell him that everyone else is getting featured. All the other teams.
Yeah, we just came from Prismari, and they're so impressive. I wanted Quandrix to also have, an equal representation in this article. Yeah.
Give me like a deception check, I think.
But we were just at.
I know, but you're trying to like
But
instill
there's-
jealousy in this guy, right? It could be persuasion too. Persuasion works.
Equally bad. All right. Oh no.
Oh yes, a 6. Right. He kind of raises an eyebrow and says, "You are first years, so it's understandable you wouldn't know this, but we don't really compete here. We're all on the same team, so to speak. Anyway, I'm sorry. It's not my place to lecture you. I'll be right back." And he walks out down the hallway.
I thought they were all rivals. Now they don't compete.
I don't think he knows as much as he would like to give off the impression of knowing.
Oh.
Like a minute and a half later, he comes back and says, "I'm terribly sorry. Imbraham is deep in his meditations. There is no chance that I'll be seeing him today, let alone anyone without an appointment. I'm sorry. Hopefully sometime soon I could put you in for sometime next week, perhaps."
A question though, did you, when you went to go and check on him, did you actually see his physical form there doing meditations or submersions or astral whatevering? I don't really know what you do here.
I see. Well, to put it succinctly, when one is as deep in arithmomancy as Master Ibrahim is, it is dangerous to disturb him. Now, of course, a mage as great as Imbraham would never lose concentration over something as paltry as a door being knocked upon, but I still think it prudent. I simply gaze through a watch glass, and if he is, in fact, surrounded by the magical symbols of arithmomancy, he's busy.
But you're fairly certain that you saw him. It's not like a "I'm busy" sign got flipped and you just say, "Oh, right, he's busy." Take that for what it
I did
is.
see him first year. He was there.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm glad to be of help.
I heard a rumor that he could do maths in his sleep. Is that true?
Dean Imbraham is master of all things theory. I doubt his mind ever stops working. It certainly wouldn't surprise me to hear that he could do incredible feats while asleep, though I can't imagine how I would go about trying to replicate the feat.
Does he collect anything?
I'm sorry?
Like, if we were to bring a gift for him at the appointment, like, is there something he likes? Does he, like, I don't know, have a coin collection, stamps? Is there anything we could...
A wall of instruments, perhaps?
Imbraham is a owlin of singular focus. He craves one thing, and it is to pursue arithmomancy to the greatest heights possible. If you have such work, or an example of arithmomancy made real in a way he hasn't seen before, I'm sure he would be exceptionally grateful.
He collects math?
You could say that, yes.
Interesting.
Will that be all then, friends?
Can you put us down for an appointment? The earliest one you can muster, I guess, please.
I see Imbraham's office hours are open 8 days from now in the morning. I'll put you in.
Okay, thank you.
What name should I put?
I'm Stella, and that's Fargle. This is Helianthus, and Vega is over there with the sword.
I'll just write down Stella, and you and your friends and their swords can all come with you if you'd like.
We might bring one more friend. Her name is Siri.
That's fine. I hope you enjoy your stay at Quandrix campus. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
Okay, thank you.
He's lying. Vega says the moment they start walking away.
Do you think he's lying about seeing a person?
No,
Do we want to check that?
It's the kind of thing. See, here's the thing. If you're going to lie, at least be good at it. It's kind of insulting what he just did just now.
Oh, you
Why?
mean about liking us? Kind of?
Yes.
Oh.
Oh, that was a lie?
Yes.
I
Oh.
think he may not be lying about having seen Ibrahim in the window. But I think the window may not be a window. The window may be an illusion.
Oh, you're so
I mean-
smart.
I could turn into a bug and go check.
I'd love to see you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, do it.
I can turn. Are bugs considered creatures I can wild shape into?
Yeah,
Sure,
bugs
man.
are beasts.
Absolutely. Yep.
Are there like common Strixhaven, but like are flies a thing here? Like, what's not going to stand out? What have I seen that I
Flies are
could turn
extremely
into?
common in Witherbloom. I imagine the insects in Quandrix are more of the dragonfly variety and mostly hang out over the ponds and lakes.
Okay, I'm assuming I saw one of those
Absolutely, yes.
on the way in, and I will turn into one.
Sure. Yeah, you are now a little itty bitty dragonfly.
I'm yellow. I'm a yellow dragonfly. It's great.
You definitely are a yellow dragonfly. So yellow.
And I am going to attempt to find this window using some remembrance of which way the guy walked when he walked
Okay.
away from us.
Give us a intelligence check, we'll say.
Yeah, intelligence. Okay. That's a 15. It's not bad.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, and they're hallways. How crazy could they be? These hallways do split in a lot of different and strange ways. Stairways kind of leading upside down and down inverted hallways at odd angles. It's really a very confusing place. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
MC Escher, you can zoom up the one you think you went through. You don't find anything that way. Maybe just an empty lab. So you can go back to another one he might have gone down. You do eventually come to a door that looks very impressive when seen through your compound eyes. I mean, all the doors in the vast array of doors you're seeing glimmer with earthromancy on the doors, just kind of playing up and down its surface in layers over each other.
I see a really fancy door.
Mhm.
I will go towards it.
Yeah, you're right there. There is a little like crystal looking glass in the middle of the door. You can see through into the other room. Beyond the looking glass, like even not like looking directly through it, you can see there is a bright glow emanating from the room. It seems to be moving.
Is there like a crack at the bottom of the door?
Very, very small. I guess a dragonfly maybe could squeeze through. Sure.
I would like to try and squeeze through the door.
Yeah, absolutely. It takes you some effort. It's very uncomfortable. I can't imagine dragonflies like crawling through tight spaces. I just don't see them doing that very often. But hey, you can do it. Don't worry about it. So you manage to get under the door. You find yourself in a very large, spacious room. And the sight before you boggles your mind. And you think it would even if you weren't seeing it 100 different times. There is an owlin fellow who is very impressive to look at. I mean, the scene is right here. It's really just this.
Ooh.
He has an incredible array of geometric shapes, magical symbols, and other kind of mathematical equations all orbiting him in a variety of rings. He has a book in his hand, though his eyes are closed, and he is limbed in a blue light that kind of resonates with the magic around him.
Okay, well, I see that it is an owlin and not a dragon, and I would like to exit the room again
Sure, yeah. And you are
and
able to
go
squeeze
back to
into the door.
my friends. I will be a not bug, and I will say it was definitely an owlin, not a dragon.
Huh.
Well, that was damned impressive.
Right, he
What?
might not be a dragon, but you turned into a dragonfly. How that's incredible.
I can turn into a lot of things that I've seen before. Just
Can you turn into us?
no, I don't think that no,
Oh,
not like people.
that's still really cool.
Never seen anything like it.
Well, I mean, it's kind of weird and it's kind of uncomfy, so I don't like to do it very often. But it's helpful sometimes.
Yeah, you must be great at spying.
Oh no, not no.
It's so useful. You should do it for all our suspects.
Or we could just talk to them. Who should we go see next? We could go
No.
visit your chef friend, Fergal. He likes you. You ate all of this weird food.
That's true. We could get dinner.
Sounds good.
What did Siri get last time? We should get her some takeout.
A burger, maybe? I remember a couple people got burgers.
Burgers feel safe.
Chef Special looked weird, but was really good.
Okay, so off to Witherbloom then?
Yeah.
Cool.
Talk to Diomi.
The campus guide takes you back through the way, and we can kind of skip through it. You've been to Witherbloom before. This time with a campus guide, the swamp isn't quite so difficult. It's also a lot more populated right now with the students kind of coming in after classes. So you don't have a lot of trouble. You can kind of join up with a group of like second or third years, making through the swamp without any difficulty there. Oh, I have the handout right here, ready to go. Look at that. So Witherbloom. But yeah, you guys can make it to what was the name of that place? It was was it Widdershins Hall? I think that was the one.
That
Widdershins Hall.
sounds right.
Yeah. It is always, as always, I mean, a buzz with conversation. You hear all kinds of students inside. And inside, once you make your way past the door, you do see Guillaume behind a bar, cooking with lots and lots of fire. I didn't have his picture last time you guys saw him. I do now. Let's see Guillaume for the first time.
Let's do this. Yes.
Oh.
There he is. So he has a whole host of ingredients, some of which do not look necessarily that appetizing. Like that in his hand is a pest, a strange like bug-like little monster creature. But he's gonna chop that up like anything else, no problem. He sees you guys enter and says, "Hey, my favorite first years, get in here!"
Couldn't scare us off.
By the time you get to the bar, he's already got bowls of stew, hot and piping, waiting for you there. Says, "So, how's Strixhaven life treating you?"
Good. Grand. We're exploring the different schools.
What have you learned so far?
Oh, well, they're fantastic musicians over at Prismari. Like, I don't think I could be a Prismari student, but I could see myself hanging out there, listening to them play.
Oh, they are fancy folk, that's for sure. And their music playing, why, it does pull the old heartstrings. A little too much for me, honestly. My old heart's not got much left in it to pull, if you know what I mean.
How old is your heart?
It's a funny way of asking. Who's counting the years? Suffice to say, this heart's been around the block more than a few times.
You must have seen a lot here, then.
Oh, yes, I've seen generations of students come and go.
How many? I mean, my order sends perhaps one student from the cathedral per generation. I'd be curious how many of us you've met.
Well, do they look like you? How would I know them?
It would just be over many generations. It's more of a numbers game. I'm curious how long you've been here.
Oh, well, let's see. He takes the pest in his hand and kind of scratches his head with it. Well, as a graduation every year, I've been to a few hundred graduations, so at least a couple hundred years, probably. Yes.
Wait,
And
you said your cathedral sends someone every generation, but that Egan's not that much older than you.
He's not. No, it's a particularly auspicious generation, is one way to think of it. There's two of us.
Is there normally not two of you?
Usually zero, but in a good generation, there's one, and this time around, me and Egan.
That's a blessing, that is. He gestures at you with the pest.
Yes, two is a rather auspicious number. But you've been here for hundreds of years? Or is it just
yes.
100?
Just back here making stew from swamp muck all day long, every day. It's a life.
Quite some time.
Yeah, I take it one day at a time. Every day is just as great as the last one.
It's like magic what you do with all these things.
Oh, you could say that. I've certainly honed my craft over years, and I'm not above, he wiggles his fingers, a little bit of sprucing up of the ingredients, if you don't mind me taking the liberty of expression there. But it's all natural, except for the magic part.
Of course. How magical are you, would you say? Were you a student here before you started working in the kitchen?
Oh, yes, I was a student here. Didn't make it too far myself. Never graduated. Coursework was too difficult, and my heart was never in it. For me, it was just being exposed to people and foods from all over the place that really made the place fun. You know? It wasn't about the magic, wasn't about the studying, never been one for books.
It looks like you found your true calling.
I did, that's for sure. Couldn't have put myself better in the universe.
I mean, you can't argue with this. And Vega picks up what's left of her soup and slurps the rest.
It is delicious. It's also clearly swamp muck that's been processed.
So, you've been here a while. You must hear rumors from the children, the youths.
Oh, yes,
Us
they come
young
in here and they
folks.
waggle their little mouths all the time, just like you're doing now. Sorry, don't let me get to you. Just
Oh
expression.
no,
expression.
you're fine. I'm curious. Have you heard anything about dragons recently?
You talking about Belladros Witherbloom?
Sure, yeah.
Boy, would I like to see her again.
You met her?
Oh, yeah, well, met is a strong word. I'd like to think I met her, but really I saw her fly over one time. It was like night had fallen or something. A Silver Quill fellow would put it better than I will, but it was like life and death passed before my eyes in that moment, you know?
Oh.
I think you put it just fine.
I don't think it is gonna matter. I'm just gonna insight. I believe him, but yeah, I believe him. I got an 8. I definitely believe him.
Yeah, he's got like a really big, wide grin on his face when he recounts the story.
Sounds fascinating. I've never seen a dragon before, but I would love to see a dragon. I think that would be really cool.
Maybe not too close, though, eh? Not all dragons are as benevolent as the founders, you know.
Yes, right. Well, wouldn't it be great to see a founder?
Oh, it would. Oh, it would. It would be so great to see a founder again.
How often do they come back?
Well, practically never. In all my hundreds of years of being in this place, I've only seen Belladros herself one time.
Was there a reason that you know? Was the school in danger or something?
Oh, she never shared her reasons with me. The deans, they might know, but I'm just a cook.
Not just. People really like your food.
It's nice of you to say so. Will you be
You've
having
been
seconds
here.
then?
Yes. And well, so I mean, once again, you hear a lot of rumors, and you've been here for a long time. If you had to, I mean, this is a wild thing to even think about, but if you had to guess if any of the faculty were actually founders in disguise, who would your guess be?
You think the founders would impersonate people? Just walk around the campus? That would be downright sad, it would be.
It'd be interesting.
I mean, I've treasured that moment my whole life. Imagining Beladros now just walking by without spreading her great wings, that's a little bit sad. I can't imagine who it might be. All the faculty are very unique, and they don't inspire anything like the awe that Beladros did. No, nothing like them. Nope. Couldn't imagine it.
Well, perhaps your founder wouldn't stoop to such levels, but maybe one of the other dragons would?
Oh, I have heard that Shadric Silverquill is quite the tricky one.
Ooh.
And that Galazeth Prismari really gets up to mischief. Not predictable, that one. I even read once in a book that Prismari and Beladros didn't get along when they were first getting started. Disagreed on how the school should be run and all that.
Interesting.
They seem like they have very different styles.
Oh yes. Polar opposites, really. Galadros is all about things that you can't really quantify. Or Galaz Prismari, yes, that one. You can't eat art, you can't cook art, you can't kill art, you can't bring it back to life.
But you can enjoy art.
Well, yes, but I'm not belittling art, I'm just saying it's very different than, making food by killing things and then growing more things to eat. And it's just a very different cycle.
I certainly can appreciate the.
Oh, I was just gonna say that cooking is kind of like an art. Like, you have so much imagination and creativity in what you can make your food into.
That's one way to put it. It's not my philosophy. My philosophy is you put as many things as you can in a big gigantic pot with liquid, and you boil it, and you sprinkle some magic on it here and there, and then it comes out delicious because it's nourishing. That's what your body craves, nourishment. It's not about the flavors or the spices. I mean, you can throw that stuff in if you really want to, but it's about the nourishment.
Right, and just like you nourish your body, you also should nourish your soul.
Yeah,
With
you're
some
right,
art.
of course. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not my cup of soup.
Well, this was quite enlightening.
My pleasure. Come back anytime.
Oh, we will.
And it's like your meal goes pretty well. He has to get back to the kitchen and starts cooking again. You hear him chatting up some other students. On your way back from Witherbloom campus, you get a message from Caladoris. I know it's shocking that the dude cooking swamp muck wouldn't think that flavor is the most important part. It is very shocking. I'm shocked. But on your way back from campus, you do get like a message, like an actual little message in your head from Caladoris saying that tonight they're going to meet at the tavern or the Bow's End Tavern for dinner. I guess tomorrow night, to discuss their findings. He sounds very excited.
Okay.
And Vega responds back with a message as well. See you then. I'll bring the rest of the gang.
Can't wait. And yeah, unless you guys have anything you want to do, we can skip ahead to that meeting at the Bow's End Tavern.
So far, I don't think anyone we've met is a dragon.
We're supposed to be struck with awe, and they're unforgettable, right?
I mean, perhaps that's maybe when they're in the dragon form, kind of like what our Witherbloom friend was talking about when he saw Beladros. But I don't know. I've never seen a dragon in one form or another, as far as I'm aware.
Maybe this is a prank. Maybe some like third year wanted all us first years running around like fools and they're laughing at us.
Egan would do this.
Oh, are you saying it was a wild human chase? Oh, that's disappointing.
That's one way to put it. I mean, I hope it's not just a wild hare.
I really wanted to meet a dragon. Maybe
Same.
we have and we just don't know.
Well, let's compare notes with the other groups and see, I don't know, see if anyone can make a compelling case.
All
Do we
right.
want to pretend that we saw a dragon? No, we shouldn't do that.
You want to tell a fib, Helianthus?
No, I just wanted to find a dragon.
The knife cuts both ways.
Just disappointed.
We can
We've
say
only
we
been
saw
looking for a
dragon
couple of
fly,
days.
Like, pause really hard. We saw a dragon fly.
Bye.
No, I should save those tokens. All right. So you guys will head back to the Bow's End Tavern at the for agreed upon time. And you see Quintelius, Mina, Rosie, Cataris, and Aurora all at a table waiting for you. They all seem really excited to share what they found out. There's a round of drinks purchased for everybody. Mina does buy. And Cataris goes first. He's very excited. He says, so I snuck into the College of Quandrix at night. I snuck onto Ibrahim's balcony. And I watched him sleep. And he totally cast Arithmomancy while he was sleeping. He raised into the air and everything. There was like the swirls of magic around him. He's definitely the dragon. Rosie says, that's ridiculous. I mean, anybody can do that. I mean, well, not anybody, but he probably does that just for funsies. I mean, that's not even special. Look, I went up to Osgear, the Reconstructor, and I asked him if he was a Founder Dragon. And he just stared at me. And I stared back, so I wasn't going to let him, outstare me. I was going to wait for my answer, right? He just stared at me, I stared at him back, and he stared at me, I stared at him back. And 5 minutes later, 5 minutes of us staring, he said no and walked away. He's definitely the dragon. He's hiding something. I just know it.
I'm impressed you were able to stand still for 5 minutes.
I wasn't going to let him win.
I mean, it's got to be a record or something.
Maybe I was bouncing up and down a little bit. So what? It still counts. They all have similar stories to tell. Aurora says she might have gotten into a little bit of trouble. She tried to charm Guillaume and it didn't work. And he laughed it off, but he also told her that she shouldn't do that. So... But he's probably the dragon. That's probably why the charm didn't work, because it was charmed person, see?
When we talked to him, and he told us the story about seeing Belladros fly by, and it sounded so authentic, so honest. He really had his heart in it. I don't think he's the one.
Maybe he's not a dragon, but he's hiding something, and I'm going to get it out of him eventually.
He has
You know
been
he
here a
doesn't
long
care
time.
about
He knows a lot.
flavor?
What was that, Stella?
Oh, no, go ahead, Virgil.
Oh, I was just gonna say, he has been here a long time, and he's seen a lot, so he's possibly got a lot to hide.
That makes sense, but he's too upfront. He's too honest. Everybody like that's really hiding something. Quintelius will volunteer that he went to see one of Zephiah's concerts, and it was mind-blowingly wonderful, and there's no way any human or humanoid could put together a performance that incredible. It's just impossible. He's convinced. So, I mean, dinner proceeds with all of your friends kind of arguing back and forth. All of them are convinced that the person they've picked out is the Founder Dragon in hiding. They do ask about your experiences with them. They're very curious what you thought. Though, again, none of them really seem to be swayed. And this kind of proceeds for a while into the night, talking. There's some debates, philosophical arguments about, like what makes a Founder Dragon special and how you'd recognize them as a humanoid. And then the atmosphere of the Bozen Tavern is broken. The music stops, conversations all kind of go silent as a scream is heard from the kitchen. You hear the clattering of pots and pans. Immediately, Tulk the Bulk, who is the bouncer at the Bozen Tavern, and Javanesh, who you've met, who is the manager, rush towards the kitchen. Students largely begin to flee. Suddenly, it's chaos in there. People are pushing past you, trying to get out. You get separated from your friends in the chaos. What do you guys want to do?
Vega's immediately on her feet. Hand is going to the long sword. She is moving in the direction of the screaming.
What are you doing? No, come back.
We need to help.
All right, I'll have Vega's back.
Might be a dragon. Let's go.
Right?
All right.
It turned out the dishwasher was a founding dragon.
So you guys push through the crowd, are able to make your way to the kitchen door. Once inside, you see a very peculiar sight. And let me bring you guys over to this page so you can see the same thing.
Oh no.
The cook, Curti, is on the ground, having been bludgeoned. You can see her cheek is swollen, her eye puffy. On the other side of the room, from the other door, you see Tulk the Bulk, who you've seen a few times. He's the bouncer here. And Javanesh, who you also recognize, are fighting their way through two massive mushroom monsters, each towering at 8 feet tall, long claws made out of fungal growth. Kind of approaching the fallen chef with awful intent, clearly, are 3 strange little monsters. They are bulbous with leafy protrusions and tentacles coming from the bottom. Each of them looks like they might have once been a head of cabbage, but are now horribly twisted. As you enter, they kind of turn, without eyes, but clearly pointing in your direction. As one, they leap forward, kind of bouncing along the ground towards you. Let's roll initiative.
Here.
All right. What was Vega's roll?
A 6.
All right. Well, you can see on the far side of the room, Javanesh and Tulk both close with the mushroom monsters. Tulk brings out a bludgeoning tool, like a billy club basically, and slams it into the mushroom monster, crushing one of its stalks. Javanesh just slashes into it with his talons. They seem to be doing okay over there so far. Helianthus, you are first to act as these cabbage monsters bound up towards you.
Oh my goodness. This is odd. Cabbages are not supposed to have little feet. I will try and hit this one that's kind of in front of me with some ice. I'll just kind of summon that ice and fling it at the cabbage.
Sure, yeah.
It's a 19 to hit.
That certainly hits.
And then that one and the one next to it needs to make a dex save.
All right. 2d20s. They have pretty high rolls. We have a 14 and a 13 result.
I think they still take half. No, they don't. Okay, so neither one of them feel cold, but the one guy does get hit in the face with some ice.
All right, yeah, so the shard pierces this one. It kind of wobbles a little bit and then trembles at you, maybe angry like.
Yeah, and I will stay where I am.
All right, after that is Stella.
Stella looks really concerned at Curtis' state, and she will tell her, please get up, and heal her for 6 points.
Curdy's eyes flutter open. You can see her cheek swelling goes down. She lunges back to her feet and screams, "The cabbages are alive! Help!"
And I will cook them. A bonfire on this one.
Sure, so it makes a dexterity save, right?
Yes.
Right. Ooh, it fails with a 0. And you see those flames kind of catch in the dried out parts of the cabbage leaves. And it does seem to take additional damage, like it is vulnerable to flames. That cabbage blight is looking pretty bad.
Turned into stir fry.
It's a good plan.
Fly up, I don't know, 10 feet in the air, so as to not.
Well, the ceiling here is 10 feet high. There isn't enough headroom in the kitchen to get out of reach of the ground, unfortunately.
Oh, really? Dang, that sucks. Cool, I'll be in this corner.
All right. Next up is the cabbage blight that you burned. You're the nearest creature. It will kind of shamble across the ground towards you and then reach out with those little tendrils from underneath its leafy mass.
Oh.
It hits with a
Wow.
critical.
Wow!
Its vines lash out and grab onto Stella, dragging her to the ground for 7 points of bludgeoning, and you are grappled and restrained.
You can't trust vegetables.
All right, then it is Fergal's turn.
Okay. I'm going to try to engage these two. So I'll go through Vegas space and get up next to these two guys. And I will bonus action empower my staff and then take a swing at the one that Helianthus shot her cold at.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Oh, it's in spells. There we go. Oh, I miss horribly.
Oh no. Maybe you slip on the oil-slicked floor here. Some of the slime left behind by these cabbage monsters has tripped you up.
And that's it. I just spend the rest of my time just trying to regain my footing.
All right, this one kind of turns, and again, no faces on these things, so it's a little bit unnerving, but turns and then tendrils shoot out towards Fergal. A 20 feet hit?
Yeah.
Wow.
For 3 points of bludgeoning, again, kind of slams you, begins to constrict you, and holds you in place, grappled and restrained. And then it is Vega's turn.
Vega, continuing the motion, will do a very familiar motion of pulling that longsword and then wraps both of their hands around the hilt and will kind of rush forward, joining Fergal in the fray against the vegetables, and will try to just bring their longsword down against the one in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That absolutely hits a vegetable, yeah.
And Vega, and as Vega's sword rips through this cabbage, it'll then begin to shine with this warm hope that radiates from it. And we will see this light actually kind of pour out of the creature from where the blade has connected with it. Vega's casting Smite.
Nice. Yeah, go for it.
I believe that is 2d8.
Right, these are not fiends or undead.
Heyo, so that'll do a 10 damage. Oh, and then I need to roll damage for the sword. Ooh, total of 20 damage.
Nice. Yeah. Why don't you describe how you destroy this thing?
I think that so the blade begins to rip through and the bits of stalk and leaf begin to kind of split, but maybe it looks like it's about to knit itself back together when that warm orange and purple light begins to spill out from every crevice of it, and instead this light just erupts through the room and the rest of it just wilts and falls apart.
Nice. Fergal is released by that. Next up is this cabbage, which will attack Fergal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it misses.
Yep.
You managed to nimbly leap out of the way of those cabbage tendrils. Then it is Curtie's turn. She will leap into action, jumping atop the counter and slashing downwards at this cabbage blight with one of her chopping knives. It's going to say club, but don't believe it. That's a lie. Oh, she misses. Her cleaver kind of hits the ground next to the cabbage blight, which shunts sideways out of the way. After that, top of the round, you do see kind of in the back there are these barrels of food. And crawling out of them are two more cabbage blights. If I can find them. Ah, yes, here they are. And then we are probably up at Helianthus.
Oh dear, oh dear. Stella's grappled, yes?
Yes, and restrained.
And restrained, and things look really bad. And Helianthus is going to kind of run over towards Stella, and is just she has this like birthmark on her skin that starts to glow a little bit, as she is like reaching out towards Stella and is like, Stella, you need to be safe. And in this moment, you start to feel a little more heroic, and you have heroism cast on you.
Wow.
As Helianthus is telling you to be safe, and not to get hurt. So you, you're immune to being frightened, and you get 2 temp hit points at the start of each of your turns.
Nice.
Ooh.
Is that for Helianthus?
Yes.
All right, Stella, you do get those 2 temporary hit points as it is your turn.
Wonderful. Stella has never felt more courageous in her life, especially with her friend by her side. Wow, so much emotional support. I can't contain it. She will burst into a star. And I'm restrained, right? So do I have disadvantage to hit this one?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay. I will still attempt to.
Mm-hmm.
25. Do it twice. 9.
Not quite. Your spell kind of ricochets off of one of the leaves of the cabbage plate.
Oh dear.
I guess that's it for your turn there, right?
Right.
Okay, the one that is grappling you will continue to squeeze with that constricting attack. It does have advantage because you are restrained. And with a 22, it will manage to grab you for 6 points of bludgeoning.
Okay.
Squishing and crushing you ever closer. After that is Fergal's turn.
Okay. Fergal brings up his staff and strikes down at the cabbage before him. Yes, he does.
Woo!
And Fergal has never told you this before, but he hates cabbage. They are his one of his favored foes. So he's gonna get to add a d4, which gets to be doubled because it's a crit. So he's gonna do 16 points of magic bludgeoning damage to
My
the cabbage.
gosh. Okay, I mean, right, your staff comes crushing down, smashing into this leafy creature. You see leaves of cabbage, rotten and malformed, kind of fly off in every direction. The creature is still alive, but just barely. It twitches and kind of struggles to get itself back up off the ground.
Okay, well that's all I can do.
Okay, after that is, well, that one's dead. Vega's turn.
The one in front of Fergal is still up.
This one, yes, it looks awful.
All right. Vega will step forward. Her boots crunch into the body of the cabbage that she downed just seconds ago, if that works.
Totally.
And she's going to try to, she kind of spins the blade in her hand and tries to just plant the sword directly into its chest area.
Right, it has one of those. Totally, yeah.
Let's see.
That does hit, yeah.
Heyo, all right, and then for 7 points of damage.
Nice. Yes, you're able to slice the last little bit that remains of that cabbage, and it does lie still after that.
And the moment that goes down, Vega doesn't savor it. She doesn't even watch it fully hit the ground. She is immediately spun on her heels and is heading over towards the cabbages that have just arrived. And she is going to put herself in between those cabbages and her friends.
Nice. And that is good timing because this one right here next to you acts next. You see it kind of pulsate a little bit. And you could swear you see like a burst of like a cloud of like motes, maybe spores or like, anyway, pollen, blasts out in a radius from it. All around you on the tables, there are like, leeks, there are lettuce leaves, there are carrots, all of that stuff kind of suddenly shakes, trembles, then comes alive, exploding outwards in these long, like spiny tendrils. And I need Vega to make me a strength saving throw, or else these tendrils are going to grab you.
All right, let's see. Does a 10 do it?
Not quite.
Vega gets grappled.
Yeah, right. So vines from a nearby, I guess, batch of carrots, like 7 carrots, all send out tendrils to grab onto Vega, binding her in place, and also binding themselves to the table they rest upon. So you are restrained and grappled there. After that is Curti, who sees all of that happening and says, "Oh, no way am I going over there. Absolutely not. Thank you. You guys are going to be fine. I promise. I'll go get help." And she dashes out the door. Next up is the other new Cabbage Blight, which will advance on the grappled and restrained Vega, going for a constrict attack with advantage. A 15.
Does not hit.
Nice. All right, yeah, you're able to fend off that one's tendrils, and Helianthus is next.
I will, seeing that fire was so effective, I am going to, oh God, I'm gonna try and step away from this cabbage.
Okay, it doesn't do anything.
Okay. And then, does the one that's grappling Stella look okay, or does it look bad?
Pretty rough. I think it was the one that Stella fired initially, or bonfired initially, so it's actually looking pretty bad.
Okay, and then Vega has 2 that are grappling her currently, or no?
She's grappled by a
Just
bunch
one.
of carrots.
Grappled by carrots. There's 2 people over there. Okay, I will go for the middle one of the 3.
Okay.
And I'm going to create an orb, but this time, rather than it being that like drippy acid, it's going to be an orb of like golden fire that I will then hurl at the cabbage.
Nice.
And I will crit the cabbage.
Okay.
Nice.
What does
Lot of
60
damage.
fire damage look like?
Oh.
It looks just like a golden inferno of light, and it dances a little bit as it engulfs the cabbage. It might singe a little bit of Vega's like eyelashes or something. You're real close to that inferno. And Helianthus will be like, "Oh, sorry, it's never done that before."
We had to fight and win. Don't apologize. That was amazing.
That was a lot. Okay. This is fine. Everything's fine.
When the flash fades, there is nothing left of that cabbage save for some ash on the ground. It is absolutely obliterated. Stella is next after that.
Helianthus is very scary. Wow. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna try to bonfire this one.
Yeah, right.
That's
so
near me.
Dexterity save. Oh, it gets a 1.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it explodes. What does that look like for Stella?
She tries to copy Helianthus, but it doesn't look as grand. It's just a really small little fire, and kind of chars the bottom of this one, but it was on its last legs anyway.
All right. Nice. Yeah, you burn its last legs right out from underneath it. And you are free.
Yay. I'm free. Okay, and then I'll step over here and try to shoot this one with a star.
Nice.
20 plus 5. 13 to hit.
That does hit.
Oh, nice. And 11 damage.
Right.
It's radiant. It's not fire.
Yeah, beam burns into the cabbage, kind of searing through it. You see like a hole form. It seems pretty bad off after that, though it is still moving. After that is Fergal.
He'll squeeze between these two tables, come up here and climb up onto this one, and take a swing at the last cabbage. Or at least the last cabbage we can see. 12.
That is enough. How do you destroy the cabbage?
Just splatters its leaves all over the floor.
All right. And as you end the last cabbage, you hear Javanish and Tulk, who both are pretty beat up. You're sure those mushroom monsters were a little bit more dangerous than the cabbages, perhaps. But you do see them each fell their mushroom opponent. And Javanish calls out, "Hey, are you guys all right?"
Yeah, what happened?
I have no idea, but we need to get everybody out of here and make sure none of these things come back. If you guys are okay, you can stick around, but if you want to head out, I'm sure we'll be fine.
We need to burn all the food in here. None of it's safe. We set fire to the ingredients.
Right, Javanish and Tulk kind of shrug and just watch as you start burning vegetables on the counters.
Hey, Stella, is Stella bleeding?
Oh, profusely.
Stella, no, wait, come here, please. And Big actually like sheathes their sword and goes over. Can I help you?
Okay.
And Vega will place a hand on, like, what's Stella's worst wound?
Probably a really thorny gash, like on her wing or something.
And Vega will place a hand kind of on her wing, and this like warm golden energy will kind of flow out of her. It's more of like a purpley, it's once again those colors of a sunset sort of flow out of her and then into the wound, and it begins to stitch together. Vega will heal up to 10 points for Stella.
Oh wow. She looks almost good as new. Wow, that feels really nice. It kind of tickles.
Now you can burn everything.
I'm ready. She goes, thank you. Going back to burn the vegetables.
So shortly after all of this, and you are able to burn all the vegetables, you don't see anything else emerge. Shortly after this, faculty do arrive. A couple of professors come in. They ask you all to leave the scene. They thank you profusely. Javanish comes out and finds you guys after you're kind of you're out and you're safe, so to speak. You're moved out of the kitchen and all that stuff. He says, "Hey, you guys, I don't know what we would have done without you. We had no way to get through to Curti, and who knows what would have happened if we hadn't saved her. So the Bow's End Tavern owes you a great debt. I owe you a great debt. Curti's my good friend. Here, I want you to have this." He pulls out a pile of silver coins. Hands it over. Says, "I know it's not that much, but it's what I make in a week here, so I hope that's enough. Also, obviously, your meals here are free as long as you want to eat here. Our pleasure to have you."
You.
As far as I'm concerned, this is my job.
Well, that's a great way to look at it, but you didn't have to do what you did, and we're all very grateful that you did do what you did, because you averted disaster. Hopefully, that was a one-time thing. It never happens again, and you never have to do what you did. I'm talking a lot. The point is, thank you, and you're all great. I'm gonna go back inside now.
Javanish, make sure they don't have any more vegetables on the menu. This is a carnivorous inn from now on. Do you understand?
Well, that's not my call to make, but I'll pass that on to management. I mean, I
I
am the
think
manager,
Curti
but
would
I mean, my
agree.
boss. What?
Curti would definitely agree.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is the chef, so she gets to decide, I suppose, what's on the menu, sort of. But anyway, look, it's been a long night. I'm sure you guys have lots of resting to do, and thanks, bye. He goes back inside. In the days following this little incident, your names are passed around on campus. You are certainly talked about a fair amount. You now have somewhat of a reputation, having taken down a chest and now some animated cabbages. Who knows what's in store for you all? If you've got a career as cabbage killers or something higher calls to you. It's also not clear yet why those cabbages animated in the first place. But we certainly did some things tonight. There was some investigation into campus rumors. We found out that some of the faculty may or may not be founding dragons in disguise. We learned about mage duels, and now we have cabbages. Are they deadly or not? More at 11 or next session, either way. Thank you for joining us, everybody. I am Marco. This has been Strixhaven Curriculum of Chaos, a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure. We are running this every other Thursday, 7 to 10 p.m. Pacific. This is most of what I do. I also run D&D and homebrew some stuff. You can find me on Twitter, and also startplaying.com, which is where we run games. Yeah. How about Sarah?
That takes us to me. I have had the distinct pleasure of playing Vega with all of these people. I am Sarah L. Kinney on the internet. The best way to kind of keep in touch with me and the various projects I have going on, I've got a couple of different one-shots coming up and another streamed game, which will be fun. But I'll be talking about those on Twitter, so just pop me a follow. I am also running a art giveaway for folks who follow. It turns out I had so much fun making all of the character portraits for these fine folks that I don't know, I want to try my hand at drawing more people's characters. So I'll drop the link to that tweet with more information. But otherwise, I can't wait to see you 2 weeks from now.
And yeah, I'm Francis. I've been playing Fergal. You can follow me if you want on Twitter at FCSerpa. Yeah, I like to write and act and game, and when I can get the time. And yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks.
Hello again. I am Sam. I like to play Stella and a lot of other critters. And I will make art occasionally. Check out my Twitter for all that good stuff.
And then I'm Andrea. I played Helianthus. When I'm not hanging out here, I am currently doing a Sims 4 Let's Play over on Sundays on my Twitch channel. And I also make dice, which is really fun. I've been posting some lovely character-inspired dice over on Twitter. And I also am running a dice sale right now. So if you're looking for some dice, you can check out my shop. They're on sale right now for 10% off for Love Day until Monday.
Nice. If you enjoyed watching, don't forget to follow us so that you can get a notification when we do go live every episode. It's been a great pleasure to have you all. Thank you and good night.